Hey folks, this is Shawn Graham, live on the Paranormal Radio app over on the Dark Waters channel, and also live on Chasing the Truth. Shawn G. I decided to go do an impromptu live stream today because I just didn't feel like running around this house and doing nothing. So here it goes. I did announce yesterday that I'd probably do like some sort of design thing with the show poster. Let me turn this music down here a little bit here and get this going here for Wednesday's night show. And that's what I planned on doing, and also taking live calls for your true, interesting, supernatural, cryptid, UFO, USO, poltergeist, whatever wild story that you've got to tell. Appreciate everybody that has popped in. Let me get this thing situated. Hey, Bass, what's going on, brother? Just saw you pop in there. Let me get this thing up here and running. All right. Judy, what's going on? Scotty, Andy Warhol's wig. That wig keeps on getting a little bit more wicked every time I see that avatar. Chris, Sheila, Claire over there on the UK. Oh, Scotland. Sorry, I'm about ready to say the UK, but it's Scotland. Holy cow. Did you guys catch that One Eyed Willie last night on my live stream? Let's see. Let's see, it's 4:30. If I do carry this stream over to dusk, we'll jump over there on Vault of Nightmares Vault 1 camera on the Dogman cams and catch the dusk sunset and see how that goes. I didn't call this stream Coffee and the Supernatural call-in lines because I just wanted to mix it up a little bit, see how things are. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share this rascal out to everybody that you know, your dog, your cousin. Hey, Truth, what's up? Jonathan Daly, what's going on? Ireland. We got Irish and Scottish folk in the chat over there. Just curious. Yep, caught old One Eyed Willie. There you go. I did not pay One Eyed Willie to make that rather lengthy appearance last night. But hold on a second. Let's go over here. Let's see if. All right, hold on a second. Let's go over here. All right, if you notice, this is my. This is the poster I had live tonight for this live stream. And the program I'm using, if you want to know, is Photoscape X. It's a freebie, but I had put some add-ons and stuff on it. It cost a couple of bucks. But Flat Rock, what's going on, brother? Of course, if you want to call in while I'm doing this, the lines are open. 931-994-6917. I appreciate you if you want to call in. If not, if you want to just say, hey, I kind of like that. Let me explain what I usually do for live streams that, hey, okay, what's going on? What I usually do for live streams and do the poster designing, because I hardly ever repeat a poster. I don't think I ever repeated a poster. I might have some content on it that's a little, goes from one place to the other. But, but what I do is a lot of my content that I get for the posters. Hey, Jeff, what's going on? Glad to see you're here. Shawn, what's up? But tonight I'm going to do a little mix-up. Instead of having Vault 1 on all the time, I'll catch Vault's camera on the Dogman cams. Let's see. I'll try to tune in over there about dusk and see what's going on over there. That seemed to be the sweet spot, especially if Vault goes out and grabs some tater babies and chicken for Lakea or whatever. That seemed to bring it out a little bit. I don't know. I'm just eyeballing it. That theory there. But so what we do, or what I do, is I go out and I start saying, well, what do I want to talk about? How do I come up with all these crazy weird posters? I dare not contribute to the One Eyed Willie discussion. Stimulates. Man, oh man, yeah, there you go. All right, you can do if you want to contribute or not. You can. Hold on a second. Let me make this. I don't want this to blast me out here. Let me make sure. Ooh, nope. All right, now I'm set up and raring to go with the old Skype. If you want to call me, 931-994-6917 is the number. And you can talk about anything. Open lines. Open discussion. Meaning, if you got a story that you've been sitting on for a while, or you got an update for a story, or whatever you called in before, right now is the time to call in. Let me double check Skype settings here real quick. See if I got the show microphone on. There we go. All right, got all that set up and raring to go. If you want to text that number, 931-994-6917. And, oh yeah, Vald, I noticed that you didn't have a stream last night. Oh, well, hey, family first is all I can tell you about that. But, all right, so what I do for these show posters that ever changes, the only real estate that I keep ever present is Chasing the Truth, and I usually have the Dark Water symbol on there. So I usually keep these. Well, hold on a second. Oh, here I am. I'm clicking on the OBS studio when I'm not actually clicking on the frickin' window. I go over here and click on, I keep this on there. I keep the Paranormal Radio app on there and the Fringe FM. And do variations of where these things set up. All good in the woods. Yeah, there you go. But tonight, what I'm going to do is redesign for Wednesday night's live stream that I'm going to have here at 8 p.m. Central Wednesday night on the Dark Waters radio channel or the Paranormal Radio app and this channel. I'm just doing an impromptu stream and said, I'm going to try to figure out what's going on. I need to do a few more live streams anyway. But, mix up the content. But I'm still going to do the open line stuff. So the lines are open if you want to call in and tell us a story. Have you seen a ghost lately, or have you had dogman encounters, Bigfoot encounters, poltergeist in your house, disembodied voices, seen a UFO? Heck, I want to hear that. So, all right. So what I do normally is, if you see all this stuff, it's not anything. It's sort of like a puzzle with this thing. But, yeah. There you go. Appreciate you popping that store in there, Marquita. Appreciate that greatly. But, say I want to change up this and say the live call-in stream, supernatural. Open unscreened lines. And go with that. I don't know what I'll do with this over here with this cryptid stuff. So, I can get rid of it pretty quick with the UFOs and whatnot. But, everything there is pretty much what I use from show to show, except for the background and some interesting aspects there. But what I usually do to get all this stuff, I can go over to, hold on a second, let me get this thing right here and move it to where I got to put the safe filter on because I don't want anything that is going to cause YouTube a problem. I had crazy electronic malfunctions during last week, but the Bigfoot in New Hampshire, Tulsa, NH, Bigfoot NH in Tuscaloosa, Texas was crazy, man. That's interesting. Joe, Scotty, call in with that. Let me know what you're talking about there. 931-994-6917. And we got a caller as of right now. Caller, you're about ready to go live, and you are live. What's your name and where you from?
My name is Latrice. I've had different, like so many different things that
You're going to have
happened.
to turn off your radio in the background there, or whatever you're listening to
Okay,
me with.
I turned it off.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I've had different encounters.
Mm-hmm.
I've had my son. One day I was at the mall, Sharp Towns Mall when it was here in Houston, and it was like Cinco de Mayo time. And I was upstairs on the second floor, and I turned my head for 1 second because somebody tapped me on the shoulder to ask me if my other little boy was a boy or a girl. And as soon as I turned around, my son was straddling the escalator. And as soon as I looked back, he was straddling the escalator, and all I could say was, "Oh, Lord, somebody help me." And he fell over head first. But when I said, "Oh, Lord, somebody help me," when something caught him. Something caught him in the air. I can't tell you what it was. It's like I was looking dead in its face. And it pulled my son back over and was holding his hand as he went down the escalator with him. And I can't tell you what it was, how he looked, or anything. All I knew was this figure, and it had my child.
Oh, man.
And some people had to help me with the other stroller with my other son in it to bring it downstairs. And I was asking, did anybody see who caught my child? Like, all you can see was my son's shoe with the string on the escalator still up there. And my son, somebody had brought him to the bottom, and he didn't even know who it was or nothing. And that was like so weird to me. And I can write today. I still say I don't know what caught him.
How old was your son at this time? Is this recent, or how long is it?
No,
how long
this
ago?
has been a while. It's been a while. It's been a long time. Like my son, he's like 20 something years old. He's 26, and he was like maybe 4, 5 years old then when this thing caught him.
Wow. So, have you heard anything else from this mall that this occurred?
No,
something
nothing
like
else.
that?
No, I never really checked into him, but it made me afraid of like for my kids to be on stairs or anything like that. It gave me the paranoid. I've been paranoid from stairs ever since when they were smaller. I didn't want him on there to slide down or anything because that scared, it freaked me out. But I know when I was pregnant with my last baby, she's like 20 years old now, I was at the hospital and something walked out the wall. Like the monitors were at the end, and I was pregnant with her. But before then, I know I had ectopic pregnancy. Her twin was taking out my tube, but she was in the womb. So I went into early labor.
Okay.
And while I was laying in the bed strapped down, my sister was passed out asleep, and something walked out the wall. And it was down there messing with the monitors. And I'm trying to wake her up because I was so afraid. Like, wake up. Like, I didn't want to scare whatever it was down there messing with the monitors. And then the nurse comes in and she flicks the light on. And she's like, "Who's messing with the monitors?" And I'm like, "Ma'am, I'm strapped to the bed. And as you can see, she was knocked out asleep." I said, "I can't get up to go down there." I say, "But get me out this room." She said, "What?" She said, "I can't get you out the room because the doctor." She said, "Well, whoever it was turned off all the readings for the baby because they were watching the machines outside, and something turned off all the readings for my baby."
Holy cow.
So I don't know if it was going to take it or what. And I was like, "Just please leave the light on, get me out this room. Tell my doctor I'm not having this baby today to stop my labor. Like, get me out of here." And that was so weird to me. Yes.
So what do you think turned that off?
I do not know. That's why I say I know it's something here in this earth that I don't know if it's aliens. I don't know if it's spirits. I don't know what it is, but I know something's here. Something's here. I've had too many encounters.
Have you had an occasion where you see shadow people, shadow creatures, anything like that?
Once before.
Once before, and when was that? Can you tell us about that?
With my baby son, he was he was a newborn baby. He was like, he couldn't even talk. I was on the bus, and there was nobody else on this bus but this one other person, the driver and me. And clearly I thought my baby was talking. I'm like looking around. Is there another baby on this bus? You know, like I hear a baby talking. The other person was looking around. I'm like, okay, if I get off this bus with this babe and I go to walk and this child starts talking, and that's when I seen the shadow thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's when I seen the shadow thing. I'm like, something is really weird going on here. I'm like, I don't know if it's following my child. I don't know if it's following me, but I didn't know. I'm saying I was just trying to hurry up and get to this house to get in the house because it was so weird. Oh
Wow.
my God. I don't know if it got off the bus. I'm like, oh my God, I just gotta go. Let me hurry up and get in this house. I was holding that car seat so hard trying to run up in this house. And this thing was just walking. I'm like, oh my God.
Holy cow. So, your son now is in his 20s since he something saved him from falling over the edge in the mall. Has he had any encounters or sensitive to the paranormal?
Too many. But we thought, he's had, oh my God, I wish he was here to talk to you. Too many. He tell us all the time. He was telling us about these things and he kept seeing it. He's like, I don't know if it's evil or good. I don't know what these things are, but he kept seeing them. And I'm like, okay, maybe he's tripping or something. Okay, did you smoke or do something? He's like, no, Mom, it's not drugs. I haven't been on drugs. It's like, I keep saying these things. It freaks him out. He's even seen it like in his room over him when he wakes up out of sleep. Like he'll go
Marquita
in a
wants to know,
trance or
how tall
something.
was it, that creature that you saw?
Um, I'd say it was taller than me because I'm like 5'7". I'll say about 6, 7 feet.
Oh, wow, 6, 7 feet.
Yeah.
And it made no noise, or you heard any noises, or did it speak or
I didn't
grunt or
hear
growl
any
or
noise.
anything?
No, I don't know. That's why I said I thought I had a baby talking at first. My baby was talking or something, and I'm like looking down and he's knocked out asleep. I was like, this is so weird. I'm like, and it's like a child talking. You hear like a voice talking. I'm like, there's nobody on the bus but us. It's only three of us. This man sitting over here, me right here, my child, and the bus driver. And I'm like, not including my child when I said three people that can talk. You hear? So I'm like, this is so
Yeah.
weird. But to get off and see this shadow thing. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm clenching this car seat so hard, like hurrying up, trying to run into my apartments. When I stayed in apartments, I was trying to hurry up and get there. I'm like, this is so weird. And I went home and I was so freaked out when I put my child to bed. My sister was at the house and I sat down on the couch and I'm like, you would not believe what happened. You hear? And I started explaining to her what had happened. She said, are you sure? I'm like, I am so serious. She's like, oh my God, you need to pray. I'm like, I'm praying because I'm saying that freaked me out.
Wow. Well, I pray every day. I prayed about 3 times before I came on the air for this particular show, and I usually pray a couple times before each show anyway, at least once. And
Wait a minute. I forgot about this a long time ago. Remember the son I told you that was on the bus?
yeah,
I think
okay,
he could have been about 5, 6 years. He was about 6 years old.
okay,
And I was in my room. See, well, he has a problem with sleepwalking. Back then he had a problem with sleepwalking.
okay.
So I would always get up and check on him. So, I check on the kids anyways at night, but because sometimes he sleepwalks up and catch him, I'll be in the bed sleeping. I'll wake up and he's beside me like weird. But I used to think weird. So he has like eyes with these black pupils, you know. And I'm
Hmm.
like, I know I ain't got no alien child, but his eyes were so black when he was little. I've never seen a baby have to go get an eye exam because of their pupils, as a baby, because he
Wow.
had these big old wide black pupils.
Okay.
But so I went in the room one day to check on him, and call it bad parenting, I don't know, but I wasn't finna fight whatever it was. Something shadowed had him hanging upside down in their hands. I shut
Uh,
the door. I eased
Say
the
that
door,
one.
but I'm sorry.
Say that one more time.
It was like a shadow, but it wasn't like black. It was like a shadow of a figure holding him upside down in his room. I eased the
So
door. My sister, I can call my sister right now, and she would tell you what I'm talking about because that freaked. I shut the door. I eased the back door back shut, went back in my room, and got in my bed and just prayed. I was like, I don't know what it is, Lord, but just please, don't let it hurt my child,
hmm
But that was just so weird. I just eased the door back shut and went back in my room. I didn't know what to do.
Holy
But he
cow!
was fine the next. He was fine the next day. He ain't say nothing. He was good. But I know
Wow.
whenever we would talk about him, he would pop up. Even as a little kid, like me and my sister, we could sit in the living room. We could be
Hmm.
sitting in another room, and we could mention any incident about anything that's occurred with him. And I swear he'll walk up in the room. So
Okay.
I'm like, that is
So,
so weird.
so are we talking about this shadow would walk up into the room, or what are we talking about? Who would
No, I'm
walk
talking
into
about
the?
my child. He would
Oh, your
walk in the
child.
room. So I'm like, I don't know if this thing is
Oh.
connected to him or what,
Okay.
but he would walk in the room. He would appear. He like pop up. You know,
Okay.
like out of nowhere, come in the room for no apparent reason, but we'll shut up. You know. So I'm like, as long as we ain't talk about none of those incidents that happened, we're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
But that was so weird. Yeah.
Do you
I've
have
had
you
incidents. I'm like, this is weird.
have you ever talked to a preacher, a priest, or anybody that's holy that try to seek some sort of advice from them to get rid of this, whatever this thing is?
No, I haven't. Do you think I need to?
Well, it's bugging you that much. You know, uh,
Yeah.
you know that that's my gut feeling. God.
Well, if that's your gut feeling, if that's your gut feeling telling you that, I probably should. Because even now being grown, my daughter, she was one day sleeping in the back. Her room was in the back before she just moved out like last year.
Uh huh.
And that's the 20 something years, the 21, she'll be 21, it's the 21-year-old. She was sleeping in the room and she was like, something slapped her up out of her sleep. And she's like, I was like, well, maybe it was one of the kids or something. She said, no, Mom, it slapped me so hard. She said, it didn't scare me. She said, I was just mad because I was so tired from work that it woke me up like that. You hear him?
Hmm.
I was
Wow.
like, something slapped you. She said, literally slapped me so hard. I jumped up out my sleep, Mom, and I was mad. She said, I
Right.
was looking. I said, maybe somebody came in there playing. She said, Mom, my room door is locked. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't see anything, so I'm okay. I ain't gonna talk about. I didn't see anything. Yeah, but I said, you're not. That didn't scare you. I said, girl, I would have to go if that happened to me. I would leave this house. And she was like, no, it didn't scare me. It just made me mad.
Oh yeah. Well, heck yeah, that would make me mad. That makes me mad when something happens in my house and I have to, either it wakes me up, which it hadn't happened in a while, or I see or hear something, which I had to do a little bit of rebuking earlier.
Exactly.
Like why are
And
you
that's
invading
what
my privacy, whatever the hell you are, and then you rebuke it in the name of Jesus Christ, goes away.
that's what I do with the holy water in my room. I do that. I keep rebuking things through the house because I don't know what it is. Just different things in this house that I live in.
Right.
But you said me need to talk to every. I probably do need to because that's why I said I've had too many incidents.
Right.
And I've never known like what to do with them, like what to do. I know my mom them when they were younger. Well, they lived in Mississippi, so anything could be, like happening out there with spirits or something like that. They just call it the spirit world. And I just leave it alone. I just be like, if it don't bother me, I'm okay. Just let me just pray it away because it would freak me out. So, but I've had several incidents that happened to me. That's really strange. That's weird. And to see different shadows and things like that. And when I had mentioned it to my grandfather when he was here, he said, baby, if you think you're seeing something, you're really seeing something. You hear? And I'd be like, and so I taught my kids that if you think you're seeing something, when you turn your head, you're really seeing something. If you're seeing something there and then you look again and it's gone, you're really seeing whatever it was. So that's what I tell them.
Hmm.
Because my daughter's done told me about the shadow stuff in the house here. She's seen the shadows in her room, the one that she got slapped in.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow. So, yeah, my gut feeling, you don't have to take it. You take it or leave it or whatever you want to do. Talk to somebody that is very, very close to God, like a preacher or a priest or whoever you feel that, is connected with God and say, hey, I've got this problem. What do you think I need to do? You know, Prayer works for sure.
I need
But
to do that.
You can't divulge everything on the air that's private. Maybe the person that you connect with, that you know personally, you can say, hey, this has happened in this house. These things have occurred, or whatever they are. Maybe there's some connections that he or she, whoever you talk to, may say, hey, you might need to, alter this or stop doing that.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, that's probably what I need to do. I probably do need to talk to somebody that's really close to God, because this is, it's a lot. It's been happening too much throughout my life, and it's
True.
still happening.
True.
Even with the
Marquita
feeling
says,
of something, you can feel something like get in your bed or something,
yeah,
press on your bed, like, yeah.
true enough. Marquita asked, does she have objected that does not belong in her house? I guess, have you rebuked the things in the house, objected to it being there, or told it to go away?
I've tried that. That's what I've been doing with the holy water, throwing
Mm-hmm.
it around the house.
Right.
Saying I rebuke it in the name of God, like you're not welcome there.
Wow.
But like I've had my aunt come in and say like she feels something real strong in this house. I don't know what it is. It ain't my house. I'm renting the house. I don't know what
So
took
have
place in the house before me, but I mean it's not just the house. That's why I say I don't know. Is that what
so this
about when
thing
I'm out the
follows?
house?
So do you think this thing follows you?
I think so. Maybe that's it. I think it's because of different incidents. But I mean, it had to be something. I mean, with the thing that caught my son, it was tall, the big tall shadow thing that caught my son on the escalator at
Right.
Shepherdstown Mall. That was really tall, and I said it was black, but I could see some eyes, but you can't tell. I can't tell you nothing about the black shadow thing because it had no face to me. You hear him?
Mm-hmm.
But I know it reached down and grabbed my son and pulled him over, but never turned his head to look at my son. It just reached down when I said, oh, God, somebody help me, and grabbed my son and pulled him over. And I can see it looking at me, but I can't tell you how it looks.
Right.
And it held my son's hand going down the escalator. I can't tell you how this thing looked. And at that time, my mom was calling everybody because I was the only one she couldn't get in contact with, because she said it's like her mom that passed away came to her in a dream saying, pray for your kids and your grandkids. You hear him?
Mm-hmm.
And so she started calling all of us. It's only 3 of us. It's me and my other 2 sisters. She said she was calling everybody, and she called my husband at that time and was like, she needed to speak to me. Where am I at? I'm the only one she hadn't talked to make sure I was okay and the kids were okay. And so when I got home, she was like, oh, my God, you're okay? How are the kids? I'm like, they're okay. But I was trying to tell her she never would believe what happened, you know? And she said, I guess the prayer was for your son, because when he fell over the escalator. But he fell over. My son was not supposed to be here. He fell over. I seen him go over head first from at the top. And something grabbed him. That black shadow thing grabbed him and just reached over, grabbed him, and pulled him up back over.
Right.
And when it pulled him back over, and it went down holding his hand, I can see the shadow holding my son's hand. I can feel and see it looking at me, but I can't tell you what it looked like. I can't tell you what it was.
Have you heard it speak to you in your mind, like a ESP or whatever? And there's some definitely a lot of stories out there that I have heard that these entities can do that, especially like Bigfoot, Dogman, that kind of stuff.
No.
Okay, well,
That
that's
I
good.
can't say. But if maybe like the time I'm saying I got on the bus had stopped running, and it was me and my kids standing out there, and I was just praying because I didn't know. My mom was having a party at her house, and so I had to catch the bus home, but the buses out there had stopped running.
Right.
And I did not know that. And I had just to stand up there, steady having to walk across the street to the payphone at that time and trying to call everybody, somebody to come pick us up because the buses stopped running. I didn't want to walk down the street to my sister's house with the kids. I'm like, it's too many of them. This is dangerous. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this bus comes. And it picks me up. And it says, ma'am, you know the buses are not running. I say, yeah, I know that, but if I could just get a real ride to downtown because the buses are running down there to my house. So he's on the bus. The driver's talking to me. I don't know who the driver was, just some guy on the bus, and he said he wasn't even supposed to be on that route. And he's telling me everything about my life, but he don't know me. He's telling me so much stuff. He told me stuff about my husband at that time. He was telling me stuff that I was going through. He was just telling me so much, and I don't even know this guy, and I got off that bus.
That's
That was
interesting.
so weird to me.
What's your name again? I'm sorry, I meant to write that down as you called in.
It's Latrice Alfred.
Latrice. Okay.
Mhm.
You're from Texas, right?
Houston, Texas. Yes.
Okay. Wow, that's an
That's why I
impressive
say I've
story.
had so many things, yeah, happen to me. It's just like so weird, and I'm like, I don't know how to address it. I don't know. Some of the stuff I say is good stuff. Some of the stuff I say is weird stuff. You hear? Because
Hmm.
the good thing you saved my child. You hear? But who saved my child? You hear?
Right, right,
Who
right.
held my child upside down? I don't know. You hear? Who was walking out there with me and my kid coming off the bus? I don't know.
That's crazy. I don't know either. I've heard there was one guy I had on that wrote a book about he had a haunting in his house. I can't remember the name
Mm.
of the book or the gentleman, but he said that his mother, um, I don't know exactly how to put it, but his place was haunted, and his mother apparently changed. Uh, he had the same mother, but I think he said that there was a dimensional shift in his mother, and everything that was different about her. Everything was negative with her before, that she was lazy, didn't want to do anything, and she saw that she went onto a bus, and something I think was attached to her or holding her hand that was a dark
Mm.
entity. And then when she came back the next day, she was gone for 24 hours or whatever. Come back, and
Whoa.
everything that was negative about her changed. She was, she never went to college or anything like that. And when she come back, all she could do was read and go to college and get a degree and all this other stuff. It was crazy. It was crazy. I'll have to go back and look at that. But
Wow.
there we go. But there's some strange stuff. I think uh, here's me just spitballing. I don't know if this pertains to you or not, but I think ever since CERN, if you know, with that Hadron Collider, all those around the world, there's a few of them around the world, went online. We've been seeing more strange happening. Period.
Yeah.
So
Just like the things I seen coming down out the sky, like they were gliding down, and it had I don't even know what happened to the video. It's like the video just gone. But I had my daughter-in-law, me and my daughter. We were outside, and I was like, "Do y'all see that?" And they were like, "See what?" And I'm like, "Look up and look up." And I'm like, "Don't be loud about it because I know what I'm seeing, and I know y'all can see this." And it was like three things just standing straight, like descending, like in the air, like going straight down a certain way.
mm-hmm.
And you could see it shift. One of them turn its head, like shift another way, and all of
Right.
them would follow it, and they just disappeared.
That is strange. Yeah, I
Now that was
would.
strange, but it was more. I made more than me witness this one. I was like, look, look what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I would if I were you. If you feel inclined, I would talk to somebody that you feel is close to God. Could be a priest, could be a preacher, it could be whoever, he, she, or whatever. Talk to them. They may need to know a little bit more about what's happening in your personal life or lives around
Right.
you than you can divulge on this air. Which I'm not going to say that I can give you the ultimate answer to this. But yeah, I would do that if I were you.
Yeah.
But that's just me
So yeah, it's
suggesting it.
probably time I get some answers. Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely, if I were you, I would do that. Talk to somebody that
Okay.
you feel that's close to God and you trust, and go from there.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
have to trust them. Yeah. Whew, yeah. But I do. Yeah, I agree. I
Well,
agree. I'm glad I finally talked to somebody that told me this. I need to do this. Yeah. Because nobody else, I'm saying, when I tell them, I'm saying this stuff, like in my family, this stuff that's happening.
yeah.
Everybody just blows it off like, it's just stuff that happened. It's nothing like, and I'm like, but stuff is steady happening. You hear? It's steady happening. I'm steady seeing this stuff.
Yeah. Well, just keep prayed up, and hopefully everything will calm down. I'll say a prayer
Yes.
for you.
Thank you.
All right. Well,
Well, I appreciate you having me on your show.
I appreciate you, Latrice. God bless you, and I hope
Yeah.
everything calms down pretty quick. Okay?
Me too. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye. All right. It does sound like Latrice has got something going on with her. I hope and pray that she finds an answer and gets this thing calmed down. But what we're doing right now is I'm designing Wednesday's poster for my supernatural show, similar to this, but this show here, open lines. Anybody can call in 931-994-6917 or text me or whatever you want to do. Let's see. Area code 832. I've got your text messages and appreciate you sending them in. And we've got another caller. Hold on just a second. Get the caller on here. Unscreened caller, you are live on the air. What's your name? Where are you from?
I am Tyre Diaz, and I am from Pennsylvania.
Hi, Ray. What's on your mind today?
So you made a comment about something, I don't know what the H word was, but people seeing more things now.
Oh, the Hadron Collider, the CERN experiments. CERN, yeah.
That's the place with the statue of Shiva in front of it.
Yeah, CERN does have Shiva in front of it. Yep.
Yeah. So, I've got something that I saw back in 1993.
Okay.
I saw a bunch of mental images of blood and destruction, and this included not only war machines and humans fighting each other, but it also included mythological creatures as well, fighting on various sides. And when this premonition happened, and like I said, it happened in 1993, the date that I got was 2021.
Wow.
Yeah. It's something that when I first saw it, it made no sense.
Mm-hmm.
But as we've gotten closer and closer to this date, things have just gotten worse and worse.
All right.
I know to a degree with this, this partially helped me with my decision of joining the military.
Okay.
So I could be a little better prepared.
Right.
But I mean, I really hope nothing happens, but I also don't know if this is a full world scale thing, if it's going on right now already, but maybe not in the way that we're expecting it.
Okay. Are you currently still in the military?
In a guard capacity.
Okay. And your name's Therese?
Tyre.
Tyre. Oh, okay. Tyre. I'm sorry. I didn't quite catch that name as you were signing on, but yeah, okay. Tyre. Let's go through this premonition you had for 2021 and explain it as much as you can, and see what we can catch or kind of connect with, and see if what you saw is true or come to be true.
Well, the issue is with the premonitions, everything flashed really quickly.
Okay.
I saw essentially a war. You had tanks. You had all sorts of military vehicles fighting against each other. But you could see griffins, dragons, and that kind of stuff as well. And it was other beings, not just humans, fighting against each other.
Wow. So what did these things look like that were causing all this strife?
Well, the issue is I didn't get any information beyond that. It's like, oh, hey, here's a war scene in 2021. Now, I do have wacky dreams from time to time. For example, October of 2019. I had a dream where I was walking in the neighborhood. It had a bright blue sky. It was gorgeous. The grass is bright green.
Right.
And then the sky turned red. And it started raining blood. These giant skeletal, well, they were literally giant skeletons that had skeletal bat wings and giant swords. And I realized I was the only person who was flesh and blood. The rest were human-sized skeletons around me and animals in skeleton form. And these giant skeletons, these giant red skeletons with the swords, would literally the human-sized skeletons, and they would just crumble into a heap of bones as this blood rain happened. And it was like, I didn't know if it was something that was going towards this 2021 premonition. I mean, for all I know, it was something telling me that, oh yeah, the COVID's coming, beware. And the only reason why I remember the exact time frame is I was training for a military operation when I had the dream.
Right.
So
wow.
But
so and what everything you seen back in 95, has any of it come true yet?
1993. No, not that I've seen.
Okay, 1993. I got that year wrong. Thanks for correcting me. Not so far, but so far there's giant red skeletons, and we're going to go through a lot of war and strife this year.
Yes.
Well, we don't have much longer in this year, but
that's why. And I kind of realized when somebody made a comment about, well, other people, they're saying that 2024 is going to be the year where, like, I guess the United States gets cut in half or something. So I don't know if, as we're going through the events, each thing is going to slowly pack on to the next thing. I know I do have dragons from time to dragons. I have dreams that have dragons in them. A good example is I had a dream where I was with a group of people and we had to retrieve a baby dragon. It was a red dragon. We brought it to the mother, and the mother actually ate the baby once it was brought to the mother, and this particular mother dragon actually kept the baby underneath its jaw. And it was just something that I've never seen with dragons, a marsupial kind of dragon.
Right.
And it's just like, okay, where do these particular ideas, concepts that I've never even thought of, and somehow these are some of the things that I see in my dreams. And I mean, it's a full-size dragon, all the scales and everything, gorgeous beast. And with the baby, when the mother blew fire, you could actually see the baby's fire even coming out of the mouth. And it was just a beautiful, impressive sight.
Right. Wow. Have you told this to anybody else in your life? What were their reactions to this?
I've, in terms of the dreams, like I let my sister know. The premonition, I've slowly told more and more people, but it's one of those things of, unfortunately, very young in my life, I found out when you tell people you see shadow people, they quickly refer you to the guidance counselor.
Oh yeah, I could see that. I had been in a hospital situation where I had a physician with me at the time. You know, we were both alone in this old ICU converted into an EEG/sleep lab. And an event happened where TV popped on, and it went to what I refer to as the hair channel, the preachers the preacher channel. and turned the volume way up. In his office, he was closer to the room where the TV went on by a factor of 3 than I was in my office. And he said, "Shawn, what are you doing? Why'd you turn that TV on?" I was in my office, and he was literally standing in front of the door between me and, across the unit, actually. And I said, "How in the hell am I supposed to turn that thing on?" So I had to literally go in there, unplug the damn thing to turn it off. The actual remote control was in the room. But the doc kind of looked at me and went blank, and like, well, I kind of figured out, hey, Shawn, you didn't do that. How'd that happen? Well, I had the TV checked out by maintenance, and maintenance said there's nothing wrong with the TV. So, make your own decisions by that. But people don't want, if it messes with their perception of what they think is real and what they think is not real, they clam up pretty quick unless they have something that they just cannot refuse or bury down deep in their psyche. That's my decision about that. But yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. I've had kind of like the young woman from before. I've had enough things, both good and bad, in my life that it's when people that are with me who they see it, and then I go, just ignore it, just press. And they're kind of shocked because, oh wait, you deal with this thing regularly? It's kind of there.
Yep.
I mean, and even stuff that I can say, well, I don't necessarily believe in it, but I've seen enough freaky stuff in my life that, well, you know what? Maybe Bigfoot is real. Maybe Dogman is real, because there is no rule. There's no real rules to what goes on in the realms, on the earth, in the space, except for that, in my opinion, God is the God of all, and Jesus is our Lord and Savior.
All right. Well, I'm right there with you. My mind has been open since, well, actually, it's been open since I had my near-death experience. I know a lot is out there that I can't put my finger on, but do I disbelieve because I didn't see it? Now, I haven't seen the Dogman. I haven't seen any Bigfoot, but I have talked to people I love and trust that have seen both. And like, well, how can I discount something that they absolutely believe in? There's countless people, countless encounters. Say Jeff, there's in Barry Browning and a bunch of other people in the chat over there. They have, devoted a large portion of their lives to get evidence that this stuff is real. They've had their own encounters. How can I discount them and the countless others that have had that? It's just not something that's pop culture. This is real to me and to a whole healthy large percentage of the United States and the world, I think. But yeah.
No, I agree. I mean, look at what Bigfoot Anonymous is doing.
Yeah, Bigfoot Anon. That guy. He has his own I have my own definition about that fella. He's struck with a sickness, and he wants to go out and prove this stuff is real. And I don't know. Would that be called a sickness? He's enamored by the supernatural. He really wants to get out there and show, hey, this stuff is real. Everybody that thinks that there's a story behind it, well, there's some truth to every crazy story that you hear that's out there, and I believe it. He believes it. I think we need to name an energy drink after the fella, personally, but. He's definitely got his own type of energy, that's for sure. I like the guy quite a bit. He's called in to my show. I couldn't tell you how many times now. And we got to talk about the Owl Man. I think wasn't that. Hold on just a second. There was a guy or a lady post something yesterday. Let me pull this up. Oh, it was frogmen. We got to talk about frogmen if he ever does call in tonight. 3 foot tall walking frogmen. Which I've heard that story before, not from him. It's not just from him. I've heard that story from Chase the trucker that's been on the show before. He's called in with that particular one story. The one thing that I've been awestruck about is these owl men, these owl people that can change into owls, these supernatural cryptids that an owl's body's 6 foot plus long, not including the wingspan. We're talking just from beak to tail, 6 foot long plus. I've heard probably half a dozen of those stories been called into my show over the last few months. What's going on with that? Is the veil thinning? Which I absolutely believe it is. But
I would wonder if, like, so a lot of these sightings, are they happening near more forested areas or essentially lesser densely populated areas? Versus, like, for me, I've been stuck in like cities and so on.
right.
And so what I see is I'll see essentially shadow people just going about their daily lives. It's almost like there's another realm that's alongside our realm, and I'll see shadows. Just they're doing their own thing. Sometimes I'll actually see a person that ends up not being there. But it's not like a person from the past, it's a person from the present. Sometimes I see animals like that. I've even seen like trees.
Like dimensional stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Like shifts in the dimensional stuff, something from the other side of the veil from another dimension pops into our dimension? Is that what you're trying to explain, or am I getting close to it?
No, that's correct.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can think of it, because the stuff doesn't seem to notice me. I've found that, like, I can feel the energy, and I'll sidestep, dodge it, and then there'll be, of course, no one there suddenly. Like, it causes that spine tingling feeling, but it's not a cold energy.
Wow. That's interesting. Well, Tyree, I've got another caller on the line. I appreciate you calling in. Anytime you want to call in the future, if you find something that you have foreseen or you've got another interesting tale, you can call in at any time.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for calling in. And Unscreened Caller, I'm about ready to get in touch with you. Give me just a second and get you on the line here. All right, Unscreened Caller, you are on the line. What's your name and where are you from?
Lazarus.
Lazarus, what's going on? I seen that you popped in the chat and said, hey, clear the lines, which first come, first serve is all I can say to that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, what's going on with you? Lazarus, where are you from for the first place?
I'm near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Wow, two Pennsylvania people. Cool.
Yeah, that's what I saw earlier. That was kind of cool to see. A topic that, because I make little videos and stuff. I don't have a big channel, but I've followed like certain things in the past, and something that has been on my mind lately is the HARP program.
Oh yeah,
you've heard of it?
I have researched that for well over 2 decades, so dipped my toes in that many times. So what's your idea about it?
So they said they shut it down due to all of the conspiracies and everything around it. Now, when have we ever known the military to ever shut any programs down due to conspiracy?
Well, here's my theory on the HARP program. Okay, last year there were 100 plus secret satellites. I dare say there was a number more than that was launched. Their payload was not divulged, but for whatever frickin' reason, they decided to announce it. Now,
we have Musk too. We have Musk too, and we have private companies doing this.
You're going to have to get a little closer to that microphone. You just couldn't hear you.
Can I put you on speaker? It's only me.
Yeah,
It's only me
speakerphone.
here.
Yeah,
See,
speakerphone. Speakerphone doesn't do well with audio on my end, but you can try it. If not, we won't be able to use the audio.
okay, I just want to see if it works better.
Okay. And
Okay, is that any better?
it's a little echoey. The audio that you were on prior was a whole lot better.
That was better? Okay, I'll switch it back.
Okay.
The harp thing though, they have several, bases like that across the world. So it's not like it's one base doing the whole job.
No, Iron Dogger says the university up here in Alaska were bidding for it. So that's
Right.
interesting.
Like I don't want to cut you off. I
No,
don't want to
go
cut
ahead,
you off at
go
all.
ahead. You called in. I'm just sitting here answering the phone and making a couple of comments that I see or comes to my mind. Go ahead.
All right. So um, I've been researching this stuff for years now. I'm 35 now. I've been researching it since.
You're getting muffled again, buddy. I didn't understand the word you just said.
Okay, I have been researching the harp thing, anything really that has to do with programs that are run
Mm-hmm.
without our knowledge, or at least that are kept secret. Anyway, um, they said they shut harp down,
Yep.
and they have tours there now. I do not believe that. I don't know anybody that has went to a tour to harp.
Well, Jesse Ventura did a little show with went up to the gates of Harp up there in Alaska. If you remember correctly,
Well,
if you've done your due diligence, and you should know that he went up there and knocked on the gate.
well, I'm sure they're going to make it look good for him because they're on TV, and I'm sure they knew he was coming. If it's a government-run program, they're going to make sure that he's, they're gonna tone it down a little bit.
Okay. So what's your theory? You've done all this research. What's your theory now?
Well, did you hear about the diplomats, the United States diplomats that were hurt physically and mentally in their buildings where they were at in other countries? They had sickness, nausea, all of this stuff, and it was on mainstream news actually that they felt that it came from some kind of a weapon that was, focused on them, but it was more of like a microwave weapon or something like that, right? It wasn't like bullets or something. But they were having pains and stuff like this. It was on the news. It was actually on the news.
Right.
But they didn't know where it was coming from.
Well,
But
what I mentioned about
it was
the secret satellites that were thrown up into orbit in the last year. Now we don't know if they've. I dare say there's more than ample scores of them up there right now. So what my theory is about HARP is, to take the heat off of it, they were cooking the atmosphere, the upper layers of the atmosphere with HARP, or that's what they concluded, but they were also cooking the Earth from the ground level. So what would cause them to not try to reverse that operation and say, hey, let's put up a bunch of satellites up there that can do HARP, but point it down toward the ground, up in orbit?
I think what they're well, in my personal opinion, I think they're continuing their research like they do. If you heard of von Braun that came over, he was a Nazi. He came
Project
over
Bluebeam.
and ended up working for NASA, right?
Yeah. There's a whole paperclip stuff, and there was I can't remember the actual original name of that stuff. But
Right.
there's a whole lot of those
So
Nazi
you
scientists came over here.
right. So you have people like that started the research,
Right.
and we had MK Ultra in America, which is proven. And how many of those files were burned and destroyed? You know, the only things that we know are what survived factually, but they did come out.
Hmm. Okay. So
Right.
okay.
Right.
So well, let's focus on that theory about HARP. Exactly what is your theory about that? We've danced around it a little bit.
Okay, well, I don't really have a theory on it. All I do think is that it should be a concern to anybody.
Oh yeah, definitely. I have no doubt about it.
I do not have like a solid theory on it, but
Hmm.
if you can put if you can put that many waves into the ionosphere as they claim to, then they can aim them anywhere they want to. And if you have one base, that's and you have like other ones around the globe that connect to it,
Hmm.
then you can connect to the brain and control the brain waves, then you can. I'm not saying this is fact, it's just a theory.
All right. Well,
You know, but yeah, that was my topic tonight. I appreciate you
all
asking
right.
on
Well, I
it.
appreciate you, Lazarus. Anybody that's got a blue wrench, throw up if you can look up Lazarus channel. What's the actual name of your channel there, Lazarus? And one of the wrenches will throw that for you.
The Lazarus Project. I'm not a big channel. I just do things when I have time.
Oh, that's all right. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just doing things as I have time, and I just happen to have time today to do something other than roll around in an old haunted house. So I said, why the hell not?
Why would you do that?
I live in a haunted house.
Why is it who haunts it?
Well, there is a little old lady that was up at the top of the stairs when I was in college. When my grandparents was alive and I was going to college full time, I come back from a clinical in respiratory therapy about 1 o'clock at night. Maybe about actually the shift ended about midnight, so it took me about an hour and a half to get here. I'm just guessing. And my room at that time was up at the top of the stairs. So I walk in. Grandparents were in this particular bedroom I'm in right now, and I was trying to be, quiet as a mouse and not turn on any lights. And I used the light from the street lamp outside from the top of the staircase. There was a window that illuminated the staircase, so I didn't have to turn on anything. So I walk.
So you were just trying to walk by the light.
Just walk by the light, and I got up about 3 or 4 steps, look up, and there's this little 5 foot nothing lady that I've never seen before in period 1800 period dress, high collar with an opaque cameo around her neck, looking down at me like, who the hell are you? And I've never seen that lady before in my entire life. And she was blocking out the light, and I could see her plain as day. And I don't know why in the world I didn't scream out like a schoolgirl. I couldn't tell you. But
I wish you gave me a chance to tell you my ghost story real quick. But I'm listening to yours.
Okay, I'll finish this ghost story real quick. I reached down for the serial switch that was at the bottom of the steps. It was about 3 or 4 steps up. Couldn't find it. Still, I locked to this, whatever this entity was. And then I couldn't find it. And before I lost my footing, I looked back and my hand was just inches away from the switch. Put the switch on, look up, the thing's gone. But that doesn't that doesn't stop there. That thing has made an appearance. I've heard it sing hymns in this house. Well,
so
I can't.
It's there. It's not going anywhere.
It's not. Well, it's not here anymore. I haven't heard a peep out. Ever seen a peep out of it? There's shadows, and I've heard disembodied voices. I've heard my late brother's voice in here. When my sister was staying with me after my brother died, he yelled at her saying, "Hey, Robin," and I was
Sorry
here.
for your loss.
Yeah. And about a few months later, my sister had moved out, and it was springtime at that time, and I heard him plain as day yell at me from outside. Hey, Shawn, that kind of thing. But yeah, I had my own encounter with this thing. I've lost my left leg, so I had to boot scoot
And
up.
you don't know it though. You don't know it. It's not a family member or anything.
Well, this house, my family bought from another family I was in high school, so that's been a number of years ago. I graduated high school in '89, so do the math.
All right.
So
you're not that much older than me.
I'm 51, almost 52 here in just a little bit. But this thing, whatever it is, I think it was one of the sisters that lived here. The eldest sister, I think. When I was a kid, my family owned the property adjacent to it, and then as I was growing older,
She came over there.
Well, no, she was actually living when I was a kid. I remember her coming out of this house in the backyard looking at then the owner of the property. He had a big old garden. She had this big old house coat and this sun hat on, and walked outside. I remember this lady walking outside, and she was living there. But there was another sister. There was this house was attached adjacent to a general store, and the footprint of the store is still here, and I park cars on it. But it was raised down to the ground years ago.
Kind of like a guest house.
No, this was actually the general store was one of the first general stores in this town. So this is an old house. This is over a century old. But the owners of the general store built this house.
I mean, you said that the other house that she lived at was like across from where you live at.
Yeah. So, well, where I am, I'm in the house. I'm in the house.
Consider that like a guest house. I don't know how the property plays out.
No, my family bought this property. They literally switched properties with the family owned this house I'm in now that I'm discussing about this little old lady coming out. They switched properties and money exchanged hands. I'm not privy to, how that happened, when that happened. But anyway, just a little.
No. I was just talking about the layout of the property, because you said that you're in one house and there's other.
No, there's only one house on this property. Everything. There's only one house on this property line. Literally they just swap properties. But my family owned a property adjacent to this. There was no adjoining houses or anything like that. The only thing that was on this property was an old, then I think it was a 3-story building that was, it was converted into an apartment, probably back when I was a little kid. Top floor, and the rest of it was a storage unit for another big grocery chain here.
I don't mean to cut you off.
Sure, go ahead.
I don't want to cut you off, but I mean, if we're discussing this, I'm trying to help you understand maybe where these spirits are coming from.
Okay, what's your theory on it?
What's my theory on it?
Yeah, well, why do you think where's this stuff coming from?
My theory on it is, if you have a big property and you had buildings on the property, they could be coming from anywhere. But the property that you're on, you can't say that a spirit that you're, experiencing is coming from the place that you're in. Like, that they have always been there. They could be coming from around you.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're close.
Well,
so like that's what I was trying to understand. Like, I didn't mean to
Oh, that's all right. The genesis of the spirit, the genesis of whatever that thing is no. It doesn't bother me now at all, because it's not here. Simply, that's it. It's not here. There's been some stuff that has been run out of this house. I have been here and witnessed the event and everything. I was like, wow, okay. But the spirit's not here. When I do these shows, unfortunately, I have to. That's the reason why I do prayer before and after the show's ended.
No, that's great. I pray too. I pray every day.
Yeah, I prayed before. I prayed before this show. I prayed before every show for the last it's working on a year now. Pray before and after.
I pray every day. I try to anyway.
Yeah, well.
Do you want to hear my ghost? You want to hear my ghost story?
Sure. Let's go for it. Let's hear your ghost story.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. Go for it.
This is a crazy one. Give me a second.
No crazier than an old lady looking down at me in the middle of the night at the top of the stairs that I don't know. Okay, go ahead. Let's hear it.
Okay, I was 2 years old. I lived in a HUD type project building type deal when I was 2 years old. It was called New Salem Makers. It's called Autumnbrook now. They changed the name. But I lived in New Salem Makers when I was 2 years old with my mom, my stepdad, and my sister. Now, they had their own room. I had my own room. It was a 2-story type deal.
Mm-hmm.
I went to bed one night, and I was a good kid. I think, anyway, as far as I know, I was a good kid. I didn't cause any problems, at least at 2 years old. So I laid down, closed my eyes, getting ready for bed. I felt something. I felt I had to open my eyes. So I opened my eyes, and I looked down at the foot of my bed. I see a little boy about my age in overalls and, like, what I would consider older clothing. But I could see through him.
Right.
I didn't know what it. I didn't know what it was, or like even like how to react to him. And he said, "Do you want to play? Or can you play?"
Oh, so it was wanting interaction with you.
What's that?
It was wanting interaction with you.
Right. But it could be anything. Now I know that, but then I didn't. He said, "Do you want to play?" I said, "I can't. I have to go to sleep." And as soon as I said that, he got mad. He looked at me dead in the eyes with this evil look, and he said, I can't even say it like I did back then. My mom would even tell you. I scared her because I came downstairs and I told her about it after.
Mm-hmm.
And I replicated what he said, gagoo, but he said it like in a demonic voice.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, he said gagoo, like in a fucking demonic. I'm sorry for cussing. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Go ahead.
No. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be doing that.
All right.
But yeah, he said. I said I can't play. So he said gagoo, like in this real deep demonic voice, and he turned around and he floated towards the wall where my window was in my bedroom at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And when he went through the wall, the whole wall opened up around him, and I could see the parking lot where he was going through. Because I said it was an apartment complex. There was parking lots.
Right.
And as he went through the wall, I saw the parking lot outside. This was the craziest thing that I've ever experienced. But I told my mom to this day, I was like, I was 2. I know I was 2. But I know how my bedroom was set up that night. Like, that's how hard that hit me. Is that I remember exactly how my bedroom was set up. I was 2 years old. Who remembers how their bedroom was set up when they were 2 years old?
Well, I have one of the first memories is of a place that my grandparents used to own back when I was about 3 years old. The street was called High Point. And I can remember playing with these little plastic cowboys and Indian figurines, and my grandfather walking into the room and playing with me. That's one of my youngest memories I can remember, and I can barely remember the layout of the room.
I miss my grandma McDowell.
Yep, true.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Complete your story.
I'm just saying. I lost my stepdad in 2018. It was unexpected.
I lost
He
my
was morbid.
I lost my dad on the day that I was discharged from a 3-month stay with my leg. Amputation of my leg.
My stepdad was more of a dad than my dad ever was. You know.
Yeah. Well, hey.
I lost him in 2018.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you had that time with somebody that actually was a dad to you.
Now, it really means more than that. Because I want to be big. I want to make millions of dollars. You know why?
Why is that?
I'm going to do it the right way.
Okay.
You like Joel Osteen or whatever his name is?
Joel, I don't, that name doesn't connect with me at all.
Me neither. Because I don't like him either.
No, I honestly, I don't know who Joel Osteen is.
Look him up. Look him up.
Okay.
You can see the fakeness as soon as you pull the shit up.
Okay.
Sorry, fuck us. I'm sorry.
Hey, I've had Vault of Nightmares on my show. You are just a baby compared to what he can say. So that's all I'm going to say.
That I can give you more stories. You ready?
Well, okay,
ready?
Sure. What kind of story are you going to share with us now?
Can we pull somebody else in?
Who's that?
Anybody.
Oh, you want to be a co-host with me? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I want to be a co-host. Yeah.
I'm not going to do that, but I appreciate the offer, though. Lazarus, I appreciate you calling in, brother. You had some great, interesting comments about the CERN project and then the HART project, and now your ghost story.
CERN.
Yeah.
CERN.
CERN. Yeah, CERN. CERN. But I appreciate you calling in. CERN.
Hey,
CERN.
Listen.
I appreciate you calling in, brother, but I'm going to have to go to the next caller. I appreciate you. All right, folks, that was Lazarus. You know, if you liked what he was talking about, go over and look up Lazarus Project. Appreciate him calling in. As we were talking, as I've been talking for the last, how long have I been on this thing? Let's see. All right, I've been doing this for an hour and 18 minutes. How do you like the project, or the, not project, the poster right there? There you go. Chase, Vault is a potty mouth. Yeah, well, Vault has his own particular way of talking, and it's exclusive to him. That's the Vault's language. So that's all I can say about that. Cool guy. I like him. He is just one of those things. Well, the poster. All right. Well, I'm going to probably use this and put a date on it a little bit later. Appreciate you watching this. What I've been using is a program called Photoscape X. And that's what I've been using for the last year to do my posters. But live call-in show, exactly what I'm going to do with this Wednesday night. I may take the Fringe FM off of it, but I don't know. It'd be pretty close to this particular poster, but I appreciate it. Let me go ahead and save this rascal real quick. Well, I can't do that. If I do that, I'll stop the stream. I keep hitting the wrong freaking thing. But, yeah, there we go. Where is it? Right there. There we go. Let me save this poster so I can use this for Wednesday night's broadcast. Open lines. Ghost UFO. There we go. But you have seen me do this. You know, sometimes it takes me quite a while, longer than an hour, to put something like this together. I just happen to find some real estate I liked and put some figurines on there, and there you go. So the next thing we're going to do is, I think it's pretty close to dusk over. Let's see if it is pretty close to dusk. Well, I may have, crap, I missed the frickin' thing here. But we'll jump over and be a voyeur in Vault 1. Dogman Cam's here in just a second, as soon as I get it moved up here. But I appreciate you, looking at this thing as I was doing it. And let's pull up the audio here. Let me get the audio back here. There we go. All right, let's see if I can get this audio up. I think where is it? There it is. All right, should be coming up. There we go. You can see some of hear the background noise. Got some road noise and stuff. But, of course, this is Unscreened Open Lines, and we're looking currently. We just got through with Wednesday night's poster. That's what was my goal, and I've had, 4 callers, 5 callers. I can't remember. I loved each one of them. Incredible stories. Wait a minute. What is this up here? Right here at the top. Oh, well, crap, I missed it. Well, let's see. Let me pull this up here. I think I seen One Eyed Willie again. What the hell is up here at the... Yeah, see that right there at the top of that branch? Right at the top of that branch on the pillars right there. Let me get this pointer here. And bring it over. Right there it is. You see that? There you go. There's One Eyed Willie again, I guess. Okay, you got One Eyed Willie back there, and it's a little bit higher than it normally is. But there you go. You gotta see that, right? If you, let's see, Lazarus Project, I'll drop a link to you in a little bit, but do you see that, looks like One Eyed Willie way up there in that fork of that tree. There you go. Appreciate that, Lakaya. Appreciate you calling in, Lazarus. Great talking to you. If you want to call in and talk about what we're looking at right now, which looks like that One-Eyed Willie has disappeared yet again. Yesterday it moved quite a bit. And we've got Chase the Trucker online. Hey, Chase, what's going on, brother?
Hey, man, what's going on, dude? How you doing?
Doing all right, brother. Just kind of chopping up a little bit. Had a little time that I needed to, do something with other than just run around the old house and do nothing. So I said, why not do a live stream? So here I am.
That's right. We always enjoy hearing you, man, and all the interesting phone calls. That One Eyed Willie there popping in between that branch?
Yeah, right up there. It was bright, real bright. Yesterday on my live stream, it started a little bit to the right of that tree that that branch is, and then moved completely to the right pillar and looked around it. It took about 30, 45 minutes, something like that, for it to transverse from left to right. But, yeah, there it was.
Good Lord. That's way higher than it normally is, ain't it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the highest I've seen it. It's off the camera. It was barely there that I could see it. I was like, is that what I saw? And I literally, as soon as I turned the camera on, it was there. So
I sure hope he's climbed up that tree and ain't actually stretched out finally. That's a big son of a gun, man.
Well, I don't know. I've tried to rule out a whole lot of stuff. I'm not exactly sure what, if it's a leaf, why would it fade in and fade out? It should be, if the wind's blowing, it should be popping up and moving all over the place, kind of erratically. But
yes, we've identified it's definitely something out of the ordinary.
Something out of the ordinary for sure. The one thing that we could probably come to a consensus on is the Vault Nightmares on Lakaya has a whole lot of strange in that backyard.
Man, let me tell you, boy, I'd be nervous as a cat covering it up sitting out there in that chair.
Oh yeah. Well, let's see if it's the frickin' thing went off. There it is. Got it now. I'll have to sit there and pet this stream for a little bit, so it'll still be live. But you never know what you're going to get when you do these live call-ins. I hope everybody's enjoying the show so far. Thanks for sitting through me doing the putting together of that poster for Wednesday night. I think I'm going to take tomorrow off and not do anything and catch you guys Wednesday night. So what's on your mind, Chase?
Not much, man. I just want to call in and say, hey, hopefully I got some stories coming up soon. Met a guy in my neighborhood. He drives trucks, and he had a tote. A guy that comes there, and he's owns his own little business. And he stops on the side of the road and repairs trucks and stuff. And I asked him, if he didn't have a lot of time. So I started talking to him a little bit, asking if he had some stories, and he just had that look in his eye like, yeah, I got some stories. Exactly what he said. Yeah, I got some stories. And I'm like, well, I bet you got some good ones. He just nodded at me. So I told him I'd give him a call sometime soon or meet up with him. He asked if he didn't mind sharing them with me. He said he didn't mind. So hopefully that pans out for us.
Yeah. Well, I think that thing's popping back up around the bottom of that branch now. Right up. Yeah, there it is.
Somebody gonna get it. What about hit him with that beam? See what happens.
Well, he's got Roxanne. He bought Roxanne a couple of days ago and named the thing. That 12-gauge shotgun.
Listen, we ain't trying to break Roxanne now. Last thing we need to do is make him mad.
Hey, is Lakaya Lakaya, is Vault, are you cooking, or did he bring any food in the last little bit? Cheese thin crust, okay. Well, apparently they like your food, because every time you cook, it looks like something's, in the last couple of days at least, looks like something's coming to check in and saying, hey, are they want to bring us some curbside service? Crazy.
Yeah, they definitely stir up when they gets to cooking.
Right,
but
right.
I just wanted to call in and say, hey, man, and tell you you're doing a great job, and I always enjoy hearing you.
Oh man, well, I appreciate you. Every time you called in, your mother was off the chain with her service details. Definitely.
Yeah.
Love talking
she's
to her.
She's staying out on that farm, so I don't know. I haven't talked to her in a while. I might need to give her a call and say, hey.
Well, tell her how do for me. There's old One Eyed Willie. He's moved over. There he is. He's bright as holy cow! Look how bright that damn thing is. Right up.
Let me get off here so I can go watch One Eyed Willie.
All right, brother.
Let somebody else call in. It's good talking to you, man.
Good talking to you too. See you too. God bless.
Bye-bye.
All right. Yeah, what the hell, Bells? There it is. One Eyed Willie's back. I'm gonna text OTW and say, hey, One Eyed Willie's back. Got him live on the stream. Let's see. James. One Eyed Willie is back. And there you go. But who knows if he'll pop up. He did yesterday, a few minutes after I sent him a text message, hey, One Eyed Willie's back. But it looked like it moved. It was between the forks of that tree. Now it's outside the fork of that tree. Whatever the heck that is. But there you go. Let me get the audio back. I turned the audio off for Chase to be able to talk. Oh, no. Nope. I don't want that. I want this. Yeah, there we go. Let's move this back up. Sorry as I'm doing the craziness of running this live stream. Well, looks like it just closed its eyes one more time. There's your bug. There's something there. Something there is definitely, I don't know what it is. Could it be One Eyed Willie? Sure. Yeah. But he was over on the right side of the right side of the camera frame last few times. Besides whatever it is up there right now. But there it is. It's coming back. Yeah, I've got One Eyed Willie on text message saying, "Hey, I need you to show up, everybody." There's a conspiracy theory that I just popped up and made it known. Let's see what we got here. Aaron wants to know if I can go way higher. This all I can do is digitally zoom in and zoom out. The actual camera angle is fixed. I can digitally zoom in and zoom out. That's all I can do. I can't go any higher than the top of the frame that you see right now. All I can do is zoom in and zoom out. So unfortunately, that's the nature of this camera. This actual live feed that we're enjoying, having a little voyeuristic entertainment, watching whatever this light is. There it is again. It keeps moving slightly, so, and it looks like it blinks in and blinks out. Hey, Jean Paul, what's up? Bass Mayhem. Application. The only thing I can do, like I said before, the camera is stationary. I can digitally zoom in and zoom out on any part of the frame, but to move the camera angle, can't do it. The only one person that can do that is the Wall of Nightmares and Lakea, if she's tall enough to do it. But I doubt she's going to go out there and do it. Her vault, it's going to stay right there. So, anyway, interesting to see this. For sure. I don't know what the heck that thing is, but it's made its appearance yet again. And I don't think it's been that long since sunset, has it, Lakea, at your property? Sunset's been probably about 2.5 hours on my end, so about an hour and a half ago. And you had thin crust pizza, so it may be sniffing the wind over there at the Ball of Nightmares. Not long. There you go. So, anyway, this is Unscreened Open Lines. I'm going to keep it open for a little while longer. Make it maybe a 2-hour show or something like that. But if you want to call in, 931-994-6917. If you have not called in today, I'm going to keep it down to one caller today. One call in. But, yeah, there you go. Interesting. Let's pan back out. And then whenever, if the One Eyed Willie happens to pop up, we'll go over and look at it. Wait a minute. Here's something right here. What the heck's that right there? Where's that marker there? We'll move it over here. I think that's probably the distance marker he's got up. Bolt's got up for shooting arrows and stuff down there. So hard to tell what that is. Could that? Here's one question for Lakea. Could that be that will-o-wisp that's up in that tree, and it phases in, phases out, or do you think this is One Eyed Willie? Marker, yep. So again, the lines are open, 931-994-6917. If you have called in already today, please wait until the following show to call in again. But if you've got any questions or comments about what's going on, or if you have some wild stories, which we've had some interesting stories today, for sure. On the supernatural side, holy cow, you can't get any better than, saying, hey, yeah, you got a story to tell. Open the lines. But, yeah, well, looks like One Eyed Willie went to sleep, maybe. We'll sit there and watch it for a minute and see what's going on. Yep, Lazarus Project, yeah, that was a fantastic call. Harp and CERN, here's my theory on HARP and CERN. I don't think Are they related in some sort of shape, form, fashion? Probably the folks or whatever entity that is controlling both pathways of how those projects wind up or are pointed. The entities probably know each other, or are the same entity, whoever it is that's controlling the planning for these things. What is that on the edge of that tree right there, on the right pillar? It keeps popping in and out. Is that, let me pull this down right here. It might be something reflected on the tree. Has it rained there lately? Oh, right there it is. It gets brighter than dims and brighter than dims. Yeah, if you want to email me a story or email me a picture or photo or whatever, okay, I just dropped the link to my email in the chat. And if you're listening on the Paranormal Radio app over on the Dark Waters channel, it is Shawn G, SHAWNG at IamDarkWaters.com. Let me pull that up. I ain't looked at my emails today, believe it or not. Let's see. No, last one I got over there was from Robert Bitto. Oh crap, I forgot to call him yesterday. Gee whiz. Robert, if you're listening, I apologize. I forgot to call you. A whole lot of stuff went on. Some crazy stuff. Well, there's old One Eyed Willie again. Look at that right there. He's popping in and he's moving. Right there it is. Could I point the arrow at it? Please. Okay, sure. Why not? Well, let's go get the pointer out. But right now, where I see this, there's the One Eyed Willie. Well, what I've been looking at right there is right here. But One Eyed Willie is definitely right there glowing like a frickin' lantern right now. So the Wickles got to get some bills out of the way, so that's no problem right there. Life takes precedence over listening to an old crazy show like mine. But yeah. Hey, is Vault on at your house now? Or does he know that old One Eyed Willie's making his presence known? Joey, what's going on? But the arrow's pointed at what I had seen on the side of that right pillar right there. And it kind of fades in and fades out, but is not as bright as this thing that's coming into view now. Up here. I'm not going to put it right over because you never know what's going to happen. But it started up here. And now, right now, that whatever that is on the side of that tree, it could be something attached to that tree that occasionally the wind blows and makes it reflective to our light. So I don't know. But it looks like One Eyed Willie has definitely made its appearance. Well, right there is, oh shit. Right here it is again. I don't know what this is right here. But we'll see. We'll just sit there and look at it. You never know. Old One Eyed Willie may bust out of the side of that tree line and make himself known and present. Walt's not home yet. Okay, well, there he goes. He looking for some additional ammo for old Jolene. Not Jolene. Oh crap, Roxanne. Somebody sung Jolene and I ain't got that out of my head yet. Roxanne. So Charles Budden. Yeah, you can send me that if you want to. If you want to share that video. Shawn G at IamDarkWaters.com, or if you want somebody other than me that share it with one of the other Dark Waters family of shows. You know, from Dark Waters himself, IamDarkWaters.com. Let's see, we got Thaddeus Cray, Wes Vick at IamDark, he's got Dogman Cams. Westvic at dogmancams.com. That's his email. Lakea's got her email, and Evolved Nightmares has got his email. But yeah, there you go. This thing is making its presence known and is traveling. Maybe I called it. What the hell is it? Well, we'll have to get Vald out there to see if he can debunk that thing. Yeah, there you go. But yeah. Anyway, this is going to be I'm going to hop off of here for this camera for just a second and put up. This is what I was designed. This is what's going to happen with the live show poster for Wednesday night. Probably move a couple things and delete the Fringe FM because I'm not going to be on that Wednesday. But yeah, thanks for putting up with that. Did you guys like watching me put that show poster together, or was this something I need to do more of? What's your opinion there? So let's go back to Dogman Cams and see what's happening with the thing going on. You never know what's happening there. Oh, I hear a stray dog out there for sure. Let's pan back out and see what's going on with this thing. Jenny, hey, what's up? Oh, there you go. Oh, there he's back again. Look at that. And it's moving. So what is it that's moving right here? It's right at the 11. I think that's about the position it was yesterday. It's back, and now it's blinking in and out. Shawn G at iamdarkwaters.com. SHAWNG at iamdarkwaters.com. Should be up and running. I've been getting emails on it. Let me put this in here. Where is it? Oh, here we go. I'll put this thing in here. You heard walking? I heard something. Something was moving around there. Yep, I'm going to add some more merch. I added a Christmas cup that was themed for sort of like the paranormal with Chasing the Truth on there. Got some t-shirts for men, women, unisex, and I think I got a hoodie, perhaps. I have to go back and look. So if you would like me to do more streams when I design posters, you know, for the folks that are listening right now, hit a 1 in the chat if you want me to do more streams than when I design the show posters, or hit 2 that you don't want to see it. 1 or 2. 1 you like it, 2 you don't. Let's see how many people like that design a poster concept. Sound like a truck just rolled in. Honey, I'm home. Alright, let's see how long have I been in here. Let's see. Oh, heck. Hour 44 minutes. Alright, well, let's see if we got it now. Charles, I actually do have your email. Let's see what this is. First off. And it's taking its own sweet time loading. Give me just a second. What exact? Well, this is the backyard of all nightmares, and this was today at 6 o'clock What am I looking at? What I'm looking for? There, Charles. What's moving? Don't know. Currently, we've been watching another appearance of One Eyed Willie up between the pillars of the tree. It started at the fork in the left pillar, and now has transversed and is right there it is, right next to the timestamp, next to 11 right now. So what the hell is it? What could do that? Yeah, you gotta figure something out. Got any idea what this is? Yeah, right there, it's open its eyes. Give me a call, 931-994-6917. First time callers today only, please. 931-994-6917. I've got the link to Chasing the Truth 2018, the Skype, if you want to link up like that and you're across the world somewhere other than in the United States, but Skype to Skype is perfectly free unless you're in Russia or whatever other state that does not allow Skype to connect any place. But there you go. That's it. Okay, you have some strange going on in your backyard for sure. Whatever that is, I don't know. But it has been dubbed One Eyed Willie, and there was another one that was. It's sent. Yeah, I got it. I got it. But what is it? This looks like the camera from what we're looking at right now. What is it that I'm trying to look at? At what point? Charles, if you want to call in, I'll see if I can dump this onto show it. Let's see. Open QuickTime Player? Sure, why not? Let's do that. Open a QuickTime Player. Well, nope, I did not want to do that, son of a gun. Well, biscuit eater. Alright. Here it comes back up. And let me get the, looks like it's in 1080p. Whatever it is that you recorded in 1080p for sure. Alright. Let's see. Let me see if I can get this thing here. I've got another whatever. Well, let me add that channel. Hold on just a second and let me add this device so I can show it to you. No, I don't want the device. No. That's not what I want. Bear with me as I get this. Oh, here. That's what I'm looking for. Window capture. Alright, hold on just a second. You'll see a recording sent to me by, let me pop this up. By Charles in the chat here. And it apparently is, let me get this down here, QuickTime Player. Where the heck did it go? Well, doggish. Where'd it go? QuickTime Player. There we go. Alright, hit QuickTime Player. Here is QuickTime Player, and no, I don't want to remove it. I want to rename it and transform it to where it'll stretch into fit the screen here. Okay, this was sent in by Charles Budden. Corey, I appreciate you sending in the tip on PayPal. Appreciate that. Corey, appreciate it, buddy. Greatly. That helps out a whole lot. You don't do these streams for free, that's for sure. Okay, so I don't know, Charles. Your email Vega Chuck is sender. Okay. So Charles, what is in this particular clip that you sent us? That happened at 6 o'clock today on Monday. What is it? Charles, why don't you give me a call, 931-994-6917, and tell me what you sent in. What is it that we have to pay attention here to? Because I honestly don't see anything. Well, don't see it. Don't see it. Anybody see anything on this particular? Let me scrub back through here and see if anything changes. And scrub back and forth a little bit here. There's something right there at the tree edge that I see. I've got it paused right now. Let's see. Let me pop that pointer back up and pull this down right here below the pointer and get the pointer pointed. Oh, well, no. I want to get a hold of the pointer. There you go. Highlight the pointer, Shawn. Right there is where I'm seeing something that changes or comes back and forth. So let's see if we can get this. I don't think that, well, that's pretty close to the edge of the visible ground there. But I think that is actually a few feet off the ground. And I don't think that is actually one of those distance markers for what Vault uses to judge how far away when he does some bow hunting back there, or bow practicing. But anyway. Charles, listen. Okay, hold on just a second. Give me just a second. I got to pull the QuickTime player up. All right. And guest, let me pull this to where I can hear it. Hold on just a second. I got this sucker, the way this thing is set, where I couldn't hit it. So had to redo some stuff. Give me just a second. Let me pull it and listen. Okay, the audio cut out right there at the 29-second mark. So what is it that you heard? I didn't hear anything. There, Charles. But anyway, all right. Well, I appreciate you sending in that video. If you do see something, let me know. Send make a comment after the fact, or make a comment whatever it was. Let's go ahead and turn this QuickTime player off and then get back up to the live feed from the backyard of Lakea and the Vault of Nightmares off the Vault 1 camera from Dogman Cams, from dogmancams.com. You can get live feed for less than a cup of coffee, the price of less than a cup of coffee, from dogmancams.com, and be able to see this 24/7. And they're adding more cameras as soon as they get the logistics fixed with the internet service to each one of these cameras that they're going to add. They're going to add a few more. But here it is. Okay, I appreciate you popping in the merch link there. Time to get the headphones on. Well, yeah, I played that to one feed that Charles emailed me a couple of times. I heard it once, but that last little few seconds of it, the audio was out on my end. But there you go. I appreciate you sending it in, Charles. Let me go back and check and see what other interesting stuff is happening here. Oh, crap. Come on, computer. Quit doing me this way. There you go. But there you go. Again, thank you to Corey for sending in. Oh, Zwiki. Hey, Zwiki. Appreciate that, Zwiki. Send in a tip donation to Chasing the Truth. I appreciate it. That is fantastic. I will definitely put you on the donators list, the tip list, when I do. Well, hold on a second. Well, I'll put that at the end. When I sign off, I'll put that at the end. And thank you again, ZWiki, for the donation. Holy cow! You just paid for 1 month's internet for me just then, so I appreciate it. Crazy as it is, everybody wants to say, "Hey, this is all. Want this all for free?" Well, okay, yeah, I'd love to have it all for free too. But this is, you don't get to start doing these things for. It doesn't cost me. It can actually cost me about 60-some bucks a month just for internet, not including everything else I have to do to get this show running. But hey, that's why I'm trying to grow the channel, so I can get assistance from doing this channel. Give you some products so you can see it, have it in your hand. Go to my Teespring store, which Marquita's been dropping the links and stuff. But definitely like, share, and subscribe. Starting December 1st, Dark Waters is going to make a major announcement for all the family shows, the Dark Waters family shows. And I'm going to give you a heads up. You're going to have to go and start looking at all the family shows and subscribing to them. Just, get you a head start for who's listening to the channel. You're going to have to subscribe to the Lakeia Show, the Vala Nightmare Show, Thaddeus Cray, Dogman Kim's, my show, let's see, Chaos Theory Productions, Bass Mayhem, and an Impromptu Truth. Go look at each one of those shows and subscribe and share and like and do all kinds of crazy stuff with them. Make sure everybody knows about it, and I'll give you a legs up on what's to come December 1st as soon as the Dark Waters, the main man of the Dark Waters family, will be announcing December 1st. And I'm not going to go any further than that. Just give you a heads up. Right at the beginning. Okay. Alright, so hold on just a second. Let me turn this down. Let me go back to the QuickTime player and pop that up, and then what I'll do, where's the QuickTime player? We'll play this one more time since Charles said, hey, it's right at the beginning. Okay. Where is it? Hello. On remote recording. Nope, that's not it either. Well, shit. Alright, well, let's see. Let me go back here. Pull this back up. And then open with QuickTime Player. There you go. Let's see if I can get this back up and running on the thing. I think I closed it one too many times out. Oh. Alright. Yeah, that's it right there. Okay, here we go. Apparently this occurs right at the beginning, so here we go. Oh, it sounds like there's some moving in the... Yeah, I hear something. Sounds like something moving around the leaves. If that's what you were hearing, if that's what you said that was supposed to be on there, it sounded like leaves moving around, like somebody was, sounded like an animal, actually. Maybe a deer or a cat or something. I don't know. But that's my assessment of it. But if you got a different assessment of it, let me know. 931-994-6917, and we'll jump back to live streaming the backyard of Lakeia in the Vault of Nightmares off of Vault1Cam, dogmancams.com camera. Let's get this thing going. And then pop this up to where you can hear it. See what's going on. I don't see anybody seen the old One Eyed Willie, or is he behind a tree doing whatever he's doing? It looks like he was transversing across like he did last night, from left tree to right pillar tree. Yeah, this the camera does have a hum to it, for sure. I'm listening off of a set of earphones, and I turned it up just a little too loud, so hopefully you didn't hear the echo or whatever, any reverb with this. Turn it back down. Alright folks, I'm going to go for about 22 more minutes, and then I'm done for the night. I appreciate you doing what you wanted to, I hope I provided something that you liked. Callers were off the hook, off the chain. The wiki, thanks again for the tip donation. Let's see, Greta. Oh no, wasn't Greta. Greta called me before the show. Tyree, thank you for calling in. Lazarus. Let's see, who else? Latrice. I hope I didn't butcher that name. Latrice. Tyree and Lazarus called in tonight. If you want to be the final caller, call in 931-994-6917. We're going to do the last final call for alcohol. Final caller of the night. Give you a few minutes and see what's going on here. Oh, I didn't want to do that. That's one of the... I heard something right then and there. It wasn't me. Alright. Crazy as it is. Yep, definitely click that Dogman Cam's membership there, and you can get total access to this particular camera and other cameras as they come online, as Dark Waters figures out the cellular logistics of getting these remote cameras online, instead of having hooked them up to an actual Cat 5 and getting these things hooked up. That's logistically almost impossible unless you have a setup like Ball of Nightmares does right now. That's alright, Charles. Send it in whenever you can. If somebody else goes live after me and you get it, hop on there, send it to them, of the Dark Waters family. But I will share it out as long as I'm online doing this thing. Wow, there's just a whole lot of strains going on back there. I can't say that enough. But every time I turn this thing on, I think, well, is there something going to bust out of the tree line and run toward the frickin' camera? Lisa, I can tell you that old Vault come on my show and talked about the previous owner, elderly fella, would sit in his room, have the windows open so he could hear and see a particular building that's on this property, and he thought that it was the spirit of his late son playing with toys that was stored in this building. The building's still there from what I understand. He thought it was the spirit of his son playing, and he would keep the windows open so he could hear it every day, no matter if it was cold, rain, or whatever. So, is there any more haints on that property? Yeah, there was a will-o-wisp that was caught on the camera about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, something like that. And old One Eyed Willie keeps on popping in and out every once in a while. I think he is camera shy now. Who knows? Yeah, we got to see him for a few minutes anyway. Uh-oh. Let me get this thing off the screen there. But again, if you want to go over to a place where you don't have to worry about what you say, other than, don't create any fights or anything like that, I've got a Discord server called Chasing the Truth, and we're pretty open-minded there. But if you want to go over to Chasing the Truth, join that server. The link's in the description. I think it's hit the YouTube Chasing the Truth chat earlier in the chat, but it's in the description as well. Join that server. You never know when I'll pop on and start talking and do a live talk live there. I did that shortly after, I think, Saturday night. I didn't do it yesterday, but you never know. There's some lovely people, great minds over there, very open-minded, loves to talk. Well, Discord's just Discord, but I think I've got a pretty good server over there that people like to chat in, at least. Oh, you saw a dark entity or whatever. Yeah. Well, let's move over here. So it was. Let me pop up this pointer. So Lisa said she saw a dark shadow pop out from the far right tree, then back in. We're talking about this tree right here. Lisa, is that what the one you're talking about? I don't want to cover up the viewable points of between the pillars, but are you talking about that tree right there, Lisa? That the dark entity or dark shadow or whatever it is popped out of that tree. But holy cow. Well, folks, you're making it awful lonely for me. If you don't want to call in, don't call in. But if you want to call in, it's easy enough. I'm not going to put your face on the camera. All you're going to do is talk on the phone. If you got Skype, 931-994-6917, say howdy. I hate your show, or I like your show, or what the hell's going on in Lakea's backyard, the Vault Nightmare's backyard. No, far left from the whole screen. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Give me just a second. Let me get that Rio link thing out here and pan back out. And we're talking about this one right here. This tree right here. We thought something popped out. Hey, cool. You actually got that Tumblr already, ZWiki? That's amazing. I ain't had that store open that long. Considering I'm still waiting for the books. Well, the books that my last guest, Robert Bitto, sent me come in Saturday, and I hadn't had a chance to make it over to the post office. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Yeah, okay. Don't you cheat? Don't you teach shop, Lisa? Shouldn't you know your left from your right, or your left is your right, or right and your left, or whatever? There you go. Gotcha. Put up Bass's channel up. Yeah. Somebody dropped Bass's YouTube channel. Oh, right there. There's old One Eyed Willie popping around that corner of that tree right up here. This tree right here. Look up about the right side of this particular tree. You can see it right now. Oh crap. Here we go. Nope, that's the wrong one, Shawn. Let's get this thing back out. Move this to forward and hit the play, and here it comes, maybe. But I saw it. It looks like some people jumping on the camera right now. Well, hit play, Shawn. There you go. Give me just a second. Yeah, there we go. Let me move this down. Right there's old One Eyed Willie right now. He did the same thing yesterday night. Passwords. That's alright. Hey, it ain't like I got dyslexia. I know I've got dyslexia. Honestly, what is that noise? I'm not trying to not talk, but I was trying to listen. Yeah, there's old One Eyed Willie right there, buddy. Son of a gun, he's back. Ass backwards. Yeah, there you go. He said he's going to Skype me after Thursday. That's fine. That's great. Fantastic. Great. Again, if you want to, if you want to, the simple, cheapest way to show support for this old show is hit those thumbs up and subscribe. You smelling more food? I think old Lakea said she had a thin crust cheese pizza earlier. Now, the way my house is set up, and other people's houses set up, they got those exhaust fan hoods above where they cook. So I don't know if old Lakea let that scent out, but you never know. Shadow Walker, what's up? Appreciate you making the stream. He's considering waving at us. Well, you never know. You never know. Oh man, I ran out of coffee. Well, it's time for water now. My coffee talk is over because I ran out of coffee. I probably need to install or bring in my coffee pot in here so I can reach over and grab some coffee as I'm doing the stream. But nah, I'll leave it in the kitchen. Thin crust ham and pineapple, yummy, my fave. Well, we're starting to talk about food, right? Sounds like that stray dog in the distance. But yeah, buddy, that thing's back. It started wait on a second. At the first, when I actually went over here after I finished designing the poster for tonight, or for Wednesday night. That's the whole premise of this stream was design Wednesday night's poster for my live stream. This light popped on just about it. It started up here in the top of this nook of the fork of this tree, and now it's behind here. It's popping out right here. So let me take that pointer off there, just to let you guys know. Talk about food when you has none. Are you out in your truck now, or are you home, Zawicki? Right there is old One Eyed Willie. He popped back up, buddy. Right there he is. And when I say One Eyed Willie, I mean this thing right here. Right there he is. I'm going to move back I'm going to take that pointer out, but right there is where we're looking. So if anything happens, yeah, look at that rascal. We've got audio on, so it's nobody shimmying up a tree that is human. In a truck, of course. Hey, there goes the peekaboo. Yeah, he's peekabooing around that tree. But he's transverse from the left pillar of the tree that Everybody's dubbed the pillars of trees, the left and right tree that's in the silhouette there. He's went up from that fork, that light, that eye, or whatever you want to call it. Moved from the fork of the tree and transversed to where it just appeared. Chica says, "Oh, here, Willie Willie." I'm telling you. What time was it yesterday, though? Hold on a second. I think Bass, or maybe Truth sent me something, and yeah, Truth or Bass sent me something over on just, oh shit, no shingle. Why in the heck, every time I put up 2 windows above that thing, it wants to pop off. Let's see. Yeah, Truth sent me a video, and I can't see what the time is. Yeah, 6:17 yesterday is when this come up. About 6:17. So I just wanted to let you know. So this is about the same time frame yesterday. Sent me some video of Willie showing up about the same place. I can't exactly say it's whatever, but Truth sent me some stuff over on Facebook on the messenger about the same time frame. Yeah, give Willie some pizza. Hey, Lakea, run out there and put a little slice of pizza as well, I don't know if you want to do that, but go out to that fire pit that was made back when we did the Occupy Halloween shows. Rub some bacon fat. I honestly, well, there's old Willie again. There he is. I see him. Now, if you've got some way of debunking this, I think yesterday we had a caller saying maybe it's a bobcat or some other cat that has climbed up in that tree that's got one eye. And she said she had a one-eyed rooster. So, could it be something like that? But there he is. That, whatever that eye is, or whatever that reflective point is, which we dubbed One Eyed Willie, it's moved. It has moved. And if you catch this show right now and you're live with me, scroll back probably about 20 minutes ago, maybe 30 minutes ago, when I first flipped over and started watching this Vault 1 camera in the back of the Vault of Nightmares on the dogmancams.com cameras. And that, whatever this light that keeps popping in and popping out, this One-Eyed Willie, moved from the left pillar tree in the fork of that tree where it is now. Gerbil named Patch. I've dealt with some gerbils in my life, but I'll never deal with them again. They're just smelliest, craziest things that is on the face of the planet. I'm not a cat person either, but I like cats, but I'm allergic to cats, so it's a kind of a love-hate relationship. Last time I touched a cat, my eyes swelled shut. Okay, we've got another unscreened caller. And unscreened caller, you're about ready to go live in 3, 2, 1. You are live right now. What's your name and where you from?
My name is Keith. Am I on live?
Yeah. Your name's Keith?
Yeah, King.
Okay.
From Ireland.
Oh, hey.
I have the thing on. Wait, I have the yoke on here now.
Yeah, you need to turn that audio off.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Let's turn off the audio here.
All right. So what's going on over in Ireland?
It's cold over here, so it is. Yeah. Ireland, England and Scotland got real bad, and there's a feeling we're going to get next week. You know, it snowed in.
Oh, my.
So,
okay.
So, just rang in anyway, just to see how everybody is. How is the family in the chat? some lovely people in the chat. I
Oh
look
yeah, they're
forward
doing
to
great.
talking to them.
They're doing great. They're doing great. So what's your name in
So,
the chat?
just Keith King as well, yeah.
Okay, well, great.
But I find it funny that Cobra sees a bugger with one eye, and then Wendy catches a great picture of a one-eyed bugger, and then we keep seeing in the background like something that has one eye glowing. So it's more than a coincidence, you know.
Well, this is 2 nights in a row that we've caught this. I've caught this on my live stream.
I seen it last night. Yeah, up right up the very top, like, and it was getting really bright, so it was like, you know, and then dimming out, like, so. I don't know if it's a bobcat. I don't know how big a bobcat's eye would be over there, like, you know.
But why would you know? It did the same transversing movement from the left tree to the right pillar tree, and then peeked around it. It did the same thing about the same time last night. Same time frame. I just went back and looked at the recordings. That's the recording I pulled up was at 6:17, so that pretty much puts it in the same time frame. So are these creatures of habit? I would say so. I'm creatures of habit. I'm definitely a creature of habit. So.
Yeah, I am myself. Hey Lisa, hey Z-Wiki. I see them in the chat here.
Oh yeah,
it's great to be able to call in. So I didn't think I'd be able to call in from the whole way here from Ireland, you know.
Oh yeah, well I'm glad that you were able to. I hope it was a long distance. If you hit Skype, look up.
I'm on Skype. Yeah. I'm on Skype, and but
you to call me.
I don't know if it's taking me cash credit off me, but I don't care anyway because I can put more. I can top up tomorrow, and I'm in town, you know. But I have unlimited data, you know. I use the phone as the hotspot, you know.
Oh yeah, okay.
But myself and my father, the back of the house here, say if you go about maybe 500 yards, maybe there's this like little river, and there's loads of like the ghost stories, the boys would call them, but they're mainly encounters with fae, you know. And they stretch back like nearly 150 years. And myself and my father were sitting in the house here thinking one night, and we're convinced that there might be a ley line here. You know, a ley line all down, because all the encounters that his family has had and other people that live around the area has had is all along that one stretch of that little river, you know, that separates 2 little townlands. Over here we have like townlands, like my road, it's only like just over 1 kilometer long, and there's 5 different townlands on it, like, you know. So, and then there'd be parishes, and then there'd be counties, you know. But we're convinced there's ley lines, because there's always UFOs flying really low and slow, no sounds, and they seem to circle around and come back up along where that little river is out at the back of the house. And we were out recording them.
I got one question for you, Keith.
Sorry?
The Catholic Church over in say the UK, they built a lot of churches on ley lines over there. So you say that you suspect that these are ley lines that, oh, well, son of a gun, he popped off. Well, anyway, Keith, if you... Well, I can't... well, I don't know. Was it using my credit? That's it. No. Okay. Well, Keith, if you look up Chasing the Truth 2018, you can connect to me that way. But I can call him back at 1 cent a minute. I don't know why, but yeah. Let me see if I can get him schedule call. Nope. Well, anyway. Keith, if you look up Chasing the Truth 2018, let me pop that in the chat right there. That'd probably work. Uh-oh. I didn't mean to pop that on. Let me pop this off. Whoever called, just call back. Give me just a second. I need to do something real quick. I'm going to pop on something real quick, so I'll be right back. Got to do something real quick. All right, folks. Sorry about that. Had to do something real quick that I couldn't not do. So, hold on just a second. Get my earphones back on here and get this whole thing off and running again. Somebody try to call in again. If you want to try to call in again, I'm here and ready to answer the phone. 931-994-6917. If you have Skype, which I'm going to get that link here in just a second. Let me get that link. Oh, wait a minute. We got the caller. All right, caller, give me just a second to get you back on the air. And you are on the air.
Oh, good evening there, Shawn.
What's your name?
Michael Owens.
Michael, what's going on? You need to turn that audio off in the background.
Done.
All right,
so, is there a topic tonight, or would you?
No.
I mean,
no topics tonight.
I didn't know if Vault wanted that extraplanar creature encounter or not. I have a Bigfoot encounter that's it was interesting to me. If you want it.
Sure, I'll take it. Why not?
Okay. This is 3 weeks after I met the alpha female that first time.
Okay.
I think that was the second time or third time I called in. I told that one. This is 3 weeks after, so I'm 10 years old. I'm out in the woods, kicking it with my BB gun, and this is a Crossman 1377 Target Master pistol. They don't even make that no more. It's called the American Classic now, but it's not the same thing. You pump it up, and you can pump it up like 35 times and put a BB in there. Oh, I got to change phones real quick. But yeah, I was going through the woods with that. And
okay.
I crossed the creek. And whenever I say I cross the creek, across the creek is really their domain. The only time I've messed around over there is whenever I go hog hunting or deer hunting or go past the creek and up the other ridge and, talk to people, across the way on the backside of the land. But on the other side of the creek is the domain of the Bigfoots. That
okay.
family, that's where they look for their food. So I'm over there and I see these two blue jays and they're just going the freak off. They're just throwing hell at something on the ground. It's furry. It's brown. Brownish red.
Right.
It looks like a juvenile dog. A juvenile Bigfoot. This is the they used to call them no heads, but I mean they have heads. It's just their shoulders are really high and You know.
Hey, one quick comment. Lakea says, Shawn, tell the man I'm waiting on my email back. He'll know what I mean.
Oh, okay. I'll hit it after I get off the call then. So these blue jays, there's 2 adult blue jays that are just hitting on it. So I'm like, okay, the only time I've seen this is when someone messes with the blue jay nest. I mean, they will come at you. They don't care who you are. So they are doing swoop bombs on this, adolescent juvenile Bigfoot. And so I already have my BB gun pumped up. It's already got one baby in it. I put my hand in my pocket and, put half a palm of more BBs in there. So now I have me a mini shotgun. I walk up calmly and, catch them as they're swooping. I pop one of the blue jays and it drops. The other one goes and stops swooping and goes over to the nest and sits there and looks hatefully. And I look down and I just kind of just slightly, touch the back of the Bigfoot's head, and I'm like, you're safe. And I get up, I back up, and I look across, and there's Mom. There's Mom. And so I wave, I put my BB gun up, and I'm like, I'll protect yours like I protect mine.
Yeah.
And she looked at me and she's like, okay. And that's all she said to me in her mind was okay.
So you had mind speak with this thing. Okay, I got you.
Well, I mean, she is the one that introduced me to mind speak. She did. She ended up teaching me that was possible, and that was something.
Okay.
I don't think I'd be as good at it without her. You got to understand, Shawn, I really want to get back out to that land. I miss them. I worry about them. But I mean, I can't go out there until I find someone crazy enough to go out there with me because I'm blind.
Oh, okay. So you don't have anybody that would want to take you out to this piece of land, this patch of land?
Oh, they'll take me out there.
Right.
But they don't want to stay long enough to build anything, to build it back, to make it back what it was, and live on it, and build a farm and a ranch and be one with the land again. I don't know anybody that'll do that with me. So I'm kind of stuck till I find them.
Mm-hmm.
So I back up off the juvenile Bigfoot, and it starts getting up, and I notice that it's a girl,
mm-hmm.
and she stands up and she backs up and she's walking away, and like I said, she's brownish red, and she's older than me. She's bigger than me, way bigger than me. She's almost 6 foot tall.
Okay.
Almost. I'm 10 years old. I might be 5'3", and oh gosh, I think I weighed 150 pounds back then at 10. I mean, I'm a big 10-year-old, but no, so I backed up and I just let them go on about their business. I just, stepped in because I seen the need, and that was that. And I went back toward the creek and back across the creek and went back to doing my thing. And that was the encounter.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime that you want to, you can ask me any question about any encounter I have, and I'm more than willing to answer any questions. So.
Okay. Well, with the encounter that you told on my show probably about 4 weeks ago, with the dog man that came while you were still sighted, you had the ability to see. You're in the back of a camper. Did you smell anything when it was literally pushing the camper and making sure that, hey, is this little guy in here or what?
I was inside the camper and my air conditioner was blowing, so that's putting out a positive vacuum. I didn't smell anything until I actually went out of the camper and actually got around where it was standing and stuff like that. While I was in the camper, I couldn't smell much of anything, but I couldn't hear it either. I mean, all I could hear was the buzz of the air conditioner.
Mm-hmm. And then the feeling of somebody pushing the camper around.
Oh, I mean, I already knew it was out there, but I mean, I was like, you know, as long as you're not gonna mess with me, I'm cool. And then it did.
Okay.
Yeah, that freaked me out. I mean, none of the wheels came off the ground, but I believe that if it wanted to, it could have pushed that camper over, and if it would have pushed that camper over onto its top, I would have started going down the gully.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I could say so.
I'm really glad that it didn't do that, because I was parked probably 15 feet from the edge of the gully. When it did that, when it pushed on the side of the camper, two of its claws went into the metal material on the side of the camper. So whenever I came out and I looked, I mean, as high as I could reach, a foot higher than that were these two, looked like two metal fingers went into the side of the camper. And that's where it had pushed. And it pushed hard enough that it pushed its fingers into the metal of the camper. So there's no doubt whatsoever in my mind that if it wanted to, it could have just like pushed its hand right through the wall. I mean, of course, I mean, that door on the side of the camper that you walk in and out, that thing has such a weak lock on it, I could pull it open. So the only thing that kept that creature out was God and it not wanting to come in. I mean, it knew I was in there.
Mm-hmm.
I know it knew I was in there. I mean, I even mentally let it know that, hey, if you do decide to come in here, I've got 4 foot of steel that I will defend myself.
You're talking about that sword. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
All right.
By the way, I got a new sword coming December 6th.
Oh, really? So what kind of sword you got coming?
It is, it's classified as a nodachi. It's Japanese hand-forged nodachi, made by one of the Shenzu's apprentices. So it's a damn good sword. It is 60 inches long and has 3 foot of really thick, hard blade and 2 foot of handle that's thick, and it's full tang, so it's got metal all the way through front to back.
Mm-hmm.
And they call it a Colossus Slayer.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's like it's probably as akin to an axe as it is to a sword, but you know, you're talking about something 5 feet long. So you add 5 foot length to my arms. My arms are 36 inches easy. So that gives me like a reach of over 7 foot, almost 8 foot.
Right.
So yeah, I feel safe with that.
There you go. Well, here's one curious question, and it's just because I'm absolutely dumb. I'm absolutely dumb about this particular question. How does a man that does not have sight use a sword?
Because before I lost my sight, I was trained with the sword for 17 years, and then I worked with it myself for a decade and a half after that, before I lost my sight. So once I lost my sight, it's just a matter of starting over, doing it again, starting from scratch. But now you're blind, and hey, yeah, I did like put a nice deep cut in my nose at one time. If anybody ever catches me in public, they'll see the scar from it. So I wasn't perfect yet, and I'm still not perfect with it. But yeah, if we're out in the woods and I have to pull my sword, make sure you're more than 8 feet away, because I will not be able to see the people around me.
Yeah.
Y'all stay back with all the guns.
If you get an unsheathed sword, you gotta stand back from Mike, right?
Yeah, y'all stand back with the guns, and you know, I'll be a bait. It's no big deal. I can make a blade barrier.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, that answers my question. I appreciate you answering that thing.
With the steel ball bearings to stand there with the dog band around me. No problem.
No problem.
As long as it's not a type 3.
Yeah.
Those dudes are crazy.
Well, these type 3, type 2, type 1, you know, whatever, with Dogman or Bigfoot, the types or whatever, I look at it like, okay, is this actually a comic book character you're trying to allude to, or is it got a real fur and it's 8+ tall, or what?
Dog-headed squatch with clawed toes.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, they're crazy in my opinion. They're territorial. They do not they won't negotiate, or you know, they won't talk with you. They won't let you talk to them. They're just coming.
Right.
And you ain't got no choice to run or fight. And you know, I can't run no more, Shawn. I'm blind. If I run, I'm running into a tree.
Well,
so darn if I better not be able to fight, right?
Right. So do you use a cane, one of those walking canes, or
I
are you a
use
wheelchair?
either a folding blind cane that is 6 foot long, or my secondary cane that's 5 foot long. I've got an emergency telescopic cane that I push a button and it pops out like a lightsaber, but it's like a 4 foot cane that's just emergency. I stick it in my pocket. And I have a sometimes, like if I was going in the woods, I would take my spear. It's an inch taller than my head and has what looks like a big butter knife on the end of it, but that's not a butter knife. That is hand forged metal that, you know, is tough enough you could swipe it in lava and it's not going to melt.
Okay.
And I would use that as a cane.
All right. Wow.
But yeah, I have the equipment I need.
Well, I'm glad you do. You have mentioned on prior calls, on prior shows that you know you're totally blind, but you can see the ethereal, the other side. So what is it you see today?
I can see. Well, go ahead with your question.
What do you see today? What have you seen today?
Okay, the ethereal, for me, it's overlaid over what you and everybody else see every day. It's layered over it, and anything that has been in one place for a long time will show up there. And what I mean by a long time, okay, that rock that's been sitting there for 300 years, I can see that. It shows up.
Okay.
Okay. All these houses that are around me, they don't exist. They're just not there. Now, in the ethereal, you can't actually see the ground. There's like it's like a mist, fog, smoke that is covering the first 4 to 6 inches of the ground, so you can't see it. But it follows the contours, so you know what's what. It's pretty easy. A lot of times, I see whatever creatures are around in that area. They don't tend to come near me at my the place I sleep, because people that invade my privacy, or creatures that invade my privacy, they learn very quickly that was the wrong thing to do. Like stepping in dogman territory.
Okay. Can you see auras of other people or no?
It depends on the aura, and it depends on how close they are. I can't see it in the daytime, but at night or in the room with my lights off, there's a good chance that I'm going to see their aura. Now, if they know me, they allow me to touch them on the forehead. Whenever I do that, it will mark them with my energy, and I can see my energy and know they're there.
Right. So is that a permanent mark or just a
It is a
transitory
permanent mark.
Okay.
It is a permanent mark, and from that point forward, I can see you within 150 miles. I know exactly where you are.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Oh, wow. Well, that, I hate that you had to lose your sight in the way you had to lose your sight, but I'm glad that you got a gift that you're trying to share out with other people.
I received several gifts, but there have been people. I think they're hot pockets, because I don't think that y'all's people would do that and just go and invade people's privacy. So I will let anyone who's listening know. I would rather you get a hold of Shawn, get my number, call me. Because if you show up and I see you in the ethereal, I do have the ability to separate that cord, and you might have a hard time finding your body. And even though I'm saying this live on air, there will not be any proof to anybody of what happened. You came in the wrong place, and you got the repercussions for it. So you can take that how you will. I've got 5 cords on the wall. Anything else, Shawn?
So these cords, are they able to be seen by somebody that besides you, or just you?
Probably for the next 2 weeks. Anybody that can see auras will see them, because I've attached them to the wall, and whenever they shrivel and go away, I'll know that person has starved to death.
Oh, okay.
Because they haven't found their body yet.
Oh, okay.
If the cord disappears and doesn't shrivel, then I'll know that they got really lucky and found their body.
Right. Well, that's interesting.
So,
but wow.
Now, creatures that I see in the ethereal, whenever I'm out and about, like we're driving around at night and stuff, most common are it's a being I call a ethereal pilferer, or a filter. It goes around and it finds things that interest it, and it will reach from the ethereal into our realm and grab that item. And it can move that item, it can take that item, it can take it, and the item will show back up a couple weeks later. People think they're ghosts. They're not ghosts. It's an ethereal being.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are ghosts and poltergeists that can move objects, but they're not the only ones that can do that. The second creature is what I call a ethereal marauder. This is a mean being. They are a predator, but they're not, well, to somebody astrally projecting, they would be a being that would cause that person harm if they didn't know how to deal with them, if they didn't have any, actual weapons against them. A ethereal marauder can use claws and teeth, and their claws and teeth will tear your ethereal form up if they do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I just happen to have bigger claws.
Interesting.
So they are no match for me.
Right.
Third creature is the ethereal vampire. Now, this creature, what y'all see on the ethereal vampire is in the periphery of your eye. When you're not paying attention, you'll see this smoky charcoal black shadow thing that moves around and does what it wants, and you can tell it's intelligent. That is an ethereal vampire.
Does it belong to a solid body, or is it just
It belongs to a solid body in the ether.
Okay.
But just like people that can see auras, those same people can see this, black blob splotch. And that is that creature's aura, basically.
Right.
That's what y'all are seeing. And in the ether, the creature, to me, it looks like 4.5 foot tall, bald, skinny, emaciated creature that, it doesn't like walking. It tends to float, a few inches off the ground. It floats around, does this thing. It has a face that looks semi-humanoid, but the mouth area is not a mouth. It's like a hole, and that can come out like a proboscis and stretch. I've seen it stretch 6 feet.
Right.
And it has like a sucker-looking thing on it with little. I mean, it looks like a starfish at the end. It looks like a butthole. And it will attach that to someone, and it will project with its mind. It will project things to cause you distress and fear. If you've had a bad day, it will bring all that out and magnify it. And while it's doing that, it's sucking that emotion off of you. And that's what makes you feel drained.
Mm-hmm.
They can actually cause you to get depressed. They can cause you to be suicidal. And I don't like these creatures. I toast them on sight.
Oh, okay. All right.
Now, next is a. It looks like one of the large manta rays you find in China on the coast, but it's flying in the ether, and it has mind speak, and it has never ever tried to attack me. And I've seen them all over. I've seen them in Dallas. I've seen them in Arlington, Grand Prairie. I've seen them everywhere I've driven. If it's dark, I can see them, and they don't bug nothing. I don't know what their purpose is, but as long as they're not messing with me, I'm not going to hurt them. Now, if anybody wants to know where dragons went,
okay, where did they go?
The dragons went into the ether because humankind was trying to kill them, make them extinct. They are not extinct. They are in the ether. They're very, very intelligent. They can speak with mind speak and with a voice in the ether. I've never had a dragon attack me either. You know, I've seen 3 different types of dragons. One had a crest along the back with spikes. I consider that it would have been a red if it was out here.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about a 50-foot long dragon with a head that's, 8 foot in diameter. A beautiful creature, just a beautiful, beautiful creature. And seeing them in ether is, I mean, I would imagine you would have to project yourself into the ether a long time to be able to be in the state of mind that they would feel comfortable to come around you. The second type I call a black, and it has a head. It looks a lot like on that movie Aliens,
Right.
but bigger. And the thing that pops out on the aliens, they don't have that. They have a tongue. Yeah, they have a tongue and teeth, and the black one that I saw was 30 foot long. And you're talking about, on a 30-foot dragon, you're talking about a head that's maybe between 4 and 5 foot in diameter, but still a really big dragon. Very, very nice creature. I've found that the uglier a creature is in the ether, the more kind it is in personality.
Sort of like dogs.
The
smaller dog that I've come across, like a Chihuahua or something like that. That thing will eat you up if it doesn't know you and it don't like you. You know, bear dog is more chummy to me, but
the worst dog I've ever had, it was a large size wire hair terrier, and that dog had piranha teeth. It would literally chew its way through the metal on the fence, go into another enclosure with a pit bull, get in a fight with the pit bull, kill the pit bull, and then go back and be in its cage. Just because it didn't like the pit bull.
Well, yeah, I had 2 dogs one time one was a pit bull mix, but wasn't a pit. It looked like a pit, but wasn't really a pit. Then I had a little bitty Shih Tzu mix. That Shih Tzu literally ruled the house. That big dog just didn't give a shit.
I can imagine.
Yeah. I remember coming home one day and that little dog apparently pissed the big dog off to the point where it rearranged. I found a chair that was across the room where it was seated usually, and it was leaning up against the frickin' fireplace.
Yeah.
And apparently, I think this little dog decided it wanted to say, "Hey, I'm under here." Well, you don't have any under here now because I put it up against the fireplace. But
yeah. My dog Duke, he likes to take my stuff and take it out in the yard, and he knows I'm blind, and I've said that he's 140 pounds. He comes and plops on my side, hip, belly, kidney. He's over 140. I don't know how much he weighs anymore. But I'm sure he weighs more than one of my exes named Greta. She's but anyway, the third type of dragon that I saw in there, it was I consider it's like a brownish yellow, wingless. And it was also around 30 feet long, but it moved on all fours.
Right.
But all 3 types of dragons had mind speak, could talk. They had their own claws and teeth. They could protect themselves. I do not know about a breath weapon. They never used it on me. So that you ask what I've seen in the ether. That is what I've seen in the ether, besides demons or people on their cords. And I know the difference because the people have cords and the demons don't.
Okay.
So now the difference between what I'm doing and what somebody projecting themselves is doing is that they project themselves out of their body into a place that's not local to them. Me, I only look into the ether where I am walking because I see it all the time.
Right.
I don't leave my body whenever I'm there. So if I'm seen there, I'm still attached to my body. I've got all my strength. I've got all my wits. I'm still just as powerful. So, I mean, there's absolutely zero contest ever. And so, I mean, that's why I very kindly warn people, because I'm petty about that. Right. If you're not supposed to be here, I would rather you email me. I would rather you call. If you want to project and get your location, and then, hey, take a drive. Come over. Okay? Don't just sit there in the ether staring at me, while I'm watching YouTube. That's not cool. I will stop what I'm doing. I will pause the show, and I will deal with it. I might, if I feel good right then, I might grab you and let you know, hey, I can touch you. And then I'm like, hey, you might consider leaving. And then I'll let you go. And you have a very short period of time from then to when, I'm not saying nothing else. I don't need to. Right. The people that do that, they know I'm not joking. So, anyway, that's what I see in the ether, Shawn.
Wow. Well, Mike, I'm going to have to hop off here and try to get back in touch with, well, actually, I got a new phone call. So, hold on just a second. Anyway, I'll talk to you later, brother. I appreciate you.
Take it easy, Shawn.
All right. Bye. Okay, unscreened caller, you are live on air. What's your name and where you from?
Hello.
Oh, hey there, Keith. What's up, buddy?
Well, we're back.
You're back. Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm
glad
back.
we could connect.
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just turning down the volume on the thing here. As for that ley line, there's always UFOs coming, down real low. Me and my father would come out and we'd record them, and like there'd be no more than maybe 1,000 foot up in the air, and they're huge, but they don't make a sound, And 2 nights in a row we watched them, and then on the third day there was this helicopter flying from about 200 foot from the ground, and it was one of those ones, it all blacked out windows on it and everything, and it was one of those ones, where the wheels retract up into the bottom, and it was flying along, and you couldn't see no lights on it, and there was no writing on it or anything. But it was flying up and down where me and my father are convinced it's a ley line because of all the different things that has happened all along that one area. Like, there was an uncle of mine coming back from a house playing cards, and he was coming across one ditch, across the field, and then when he was getting over the other ditch to get into the next field, he heard what he thought was a bull coming busting through the ditches. See, over here, we just have fields, and then it'd be just like ditches, would be the boundaries in the fields, and it'd be rare to find big massive fields, that'd be 50 acres of that, five, 6 acres might be like the average, and that'd be a large field here in Ireland. But
Right.
next minute, this big massive dog, and he reckons it was easily, level with his chest, and he's 5'4", and the way he described it, like he described it exactly like you would describe a dog, man. Jet black hair with pointy ears and big, massive, blazing eyes. Except it wasn't standing on 2 feet. Now he had made his own like gun where he would chew up bits of tinfoil, and he'd use the bullets for putting down cattle in a slaughter yard. He'd use those to fire out the tinfoil things. Now he was able to fire them straight through like a 5-inch plank of wood, like, you know what I mean, from 10 foot away. But he says he was frozen stiff to the ground, and he pulled this thing out of his jacket and he pulled it towards the dog and put it right between its eyes, because it was literally a couple of feet from him. And it had the teeth stripped, and it says its eyes was blazing like the color of hot coals.
Mm-hmm.
And he says he shot it, and he says he heard this little yelp about it, and he says he seen its teeth then just slowly disappearing, and then it turned around and it busted back out, and ran away. And it wasn't until not too long ago that I found out that where he had that encounter was the exact same place from where he first heard it coming running out to where I had my own encounter when I was about maybe 8 or 9. I was up along there where he heard it coming out of. There used to be loads of like blackthorn, and the blackthorn is the tree that you see people. The shillelaghs. They're like a thing that tourists do buy. It's a really hard wood, and they make the shillelaghs out of blackthorn. But it's got these big long, really strong thorns on it, like, so you'd be tore to bits in them, But there used to be a load of them growing out from the ditch, but the farmer who owns the field got rid of them, so they could make more room for his cattle to feed. But I was over there and was about, say, 8 or 9. I was looking for fairies and all, as a kid and that, like, because I was hearing stories, from my father's side of the family about all the stuff that they grew up seeing and different things that happened to them. But I hear this tapping in the ditch, and I was convinced, this must be a leprechaun making a shoe, like an innocent gossin. That gossin means young fella, like, young boy. But I crawled into the ditch anyway, and there was all thorns sticking into my knees and into my forearms and all. But when I managed to get in, what was it? Only a bird with a snail banging it off a rock, trying to get the snail out of the rock. And I thought to myself, what sort of bollocks am I to be crawling in here looking for leprechauns? You think I'd have more sense? Like, I think you just grow up, Keith. So I turned around to try and crawl out, and I got that back down on my belly, and I look up, and literally about a meter from my face, there's this thing sitting there behind these 2 rocks that I had to pass when I crawled in underneath those blackthorns to see what it was that was making the banging. There was this little yolk. All I can say is it was just a horrible little yolk looking like a goblin, but it was covered in leaves. Now, next to its skin on its body, it had like ivy leaves, like fresh green ivy leaves, but on its back, it sort of had like dead brown and black leaves. They kind of look shiny and wet. And on his head, he had hold on a second. On his head, he had like a black leaf wrapped around his head. Now, if I seen him from 15 foot away and he was running, I would have bet my house that I saw a leprechaun, with a little suit on him and everything. But no, but what I saw was it was using that like for camouflage. Now the amount of people that has seen what they called leprechauns, and they literally took their eye off it for a second and then it's disappeared. This thing here, all it'd have to do is just lie down on the ground and he would just disappear with these leaves. Like the camouflage was just brilliant, you know. So I was always putting that off as imagination, do you know what I mean? And but I kind of knew that it wasn't imagination, you know. It was just too real. But it was looking at the snail that was banging the bird that was banging the snail on the rock as well. And I was looking at this thing with my mouth open. When it turned around to me, it sort of smiled, and then when it realised that I could see it, it sort of freaked out and didn't know what way to go, and then it ran. It ran out from the way I had to go in because I had to crawl out past this thing to actually get out of the blackthorns. You know what I mean? They go right down to the ground, like a small bird wouldn't even get through. But there was this one bit that I could get in through, like, you know, being small and all. But it ran down and it jumped down underneath this big hazel tree. There was like a big. It was probably originally a rabbit hole, but then foxes or badgers probably took it over, you know. But it was a big hole, you know, like underneath in the bank of the ditch. But it jumped down in there. But I ran home. But thank God, like our father always believed us because they grew up, you know, and they only just grew up only just literally a stone's throw from where we're living now, you know, in the area, and they grew up seeing weird things over and over. Like nearly every one of them has a story of their own, you know.
Hmm.
But, yeah, that's what I call leprechaun thing.
I've got one question since you started out the phone call as talking about ley lines, and I mentioned that the Catholic Church builds churches over in the UK on ley lines, and you said that you suspected you had ley lines
Right.
because of UFO
No, but
contact, yeah, UFO sightings. So were
yeah,
these UFO, yeah, were these UFO sightings that you witnessed? Was there a church or possibly a graveyard or cemetery around, or a castle?
no, well, no, but if you were, do you know what I'll do? I'll take a photo of Google Earth and then I'll email it to you, so I will, and I'll point out all of the fairy forts. There's literally, if you look on Google Earth across Ireland, um, you can literally spot fairy rings. They call them fairy rings, but there would have been forts where people would have lived, you know, like thousands of years ago, and
Yeah.
ring forts, and you could literally shout a message from one side of Ireland to the other. Do you know, say if an invasion happened down in Cork, within a day, within the end of that day, the people up all across the country would know that there was an invasion happening in Cork, you know, because they're literally everywhere, and especially along rivers, you know. But where I am now, let me see, there was one just out the side of our house. That's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. There's nine. There's nine fairy forts within we'll say, a mile radius of
Hmm.
where I am right now. So,
So
you know,
from ferry fort to ferry fort, how would they communicate to get it across Ireland?
all
What
they'd
was
have
the
to do
mode?
is just shout.
Just
All, they,
shout?
all, they, all they'd have to do is just shout from one to another. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe just wave, you know, a flame or something like that. You know what I mean? Like a code.
Oh,
But they literally could shout from one fort to another. You know,
wow.
there's a load of stuff, like there's a load of ring forts and there's a load of standing stones and things like that and dolmens around this place, Ireland, and that that aren't on any maps, and the only people that know about them are the locals. Like over in, you know, Sardinia, um I think it was back in the 50s they found bones of giants, and so what they done, where these giants' graves were. They came in, they took away all the bones, and then they started planting like trees to hide the fact that they were there. They done that here in Ireland as well.
Mm-hmm.
There was a famous part of our mythology, like Queen Maeve, where she had her castle. Her that whole place is covered in pine trees. Do you know what I mean? To hide it, and like I think that's wrong. That's completely wrong. Like just wiping out history because obviously something went wrong somewhere in the past, and we're being lied to. You know.
Right.
But
Well,
I
they did
must
the
I
same
must
thing
get my
here.
father to talk to you because he's got so many stories going back. Like there's a thing here in Ireland. It's called a stray sod. I don't know if it's in England, but I'd say it is. And it's where a farmer could be walking through his own field, a field that he could walk through blindfold, but yet he's stuck in the field for the whole night long, and he cannot find his way out until the sun comes up. And that's happening to nearly all my uncles on my father's side, and loads of people down through the years in Ireland. And I don't know how to explain that one, but I'd like to
Hmm.
know if it happens in England and Scotland and Wales as well. Like, but it happens here a lot. And I'm thinking, would it have anything got to do with UFOs or being abducted or something?
Hmm.
You know,
Do you have a lot of
very strange.
abductions? You have a lot of abductions in Ireland?
Well, no one would talk about it. They talk about fairy stories and ghost stories, but they wouldn't talk about UFOs and that.
Right.
Because I think people would laugh at them. But yes, you get people who wouldn't believe. They don't believe in fairies or ghosts or anything like that. But when they hear a story, they definitely believe in the telling of it. You know what I mean? When they're telling it, they'll tell it. Like they do believe in it. But it's strange.
Hmm. All
But
right.
what I have to do is I have to get a timeline of all the different things that happened down all along this thing. And I'll get them all in order, and I'll ring you up and I'll let you know how they fell in order. Now that thing, well, I call it the hellhound thing that my uncle found, and luckily he had that gun thing on him, or else he could have been eaten. But that was just right beside where I saw that. I call it the leprechaun thing, and it like I'll describe what this thing looked like. It had sort of like a bluish grey skin. Like, do you ever see like a corpse where their lips does go when someone dies? The lips kind of go funny, like
Right.
funny color,
Yeah,
purple
yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
Yeah, I have seen that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
it was sort of a bluey grayish, color like that. And he only had three fingers and a thumb, you know, and but his mouth was just absolutely full of teeth, little tiny triangular teeth, like not like a piranha, but more rounded. But man, he was scary. And when he realised that I could see him, he sort of didn't know what to do for a second before he ran like the wind. But he must have stopped and waited until I got out, because the speed he was going at, he should have been gone down the rabbit hole and I shouldn't have seen him. I could just see him out from underneath. And when I seen that he was gone far enough away, I started going, like, because I was on me knees and on me elbows and me arms to try and get out from this ditch, like. But he must have stopped for a second, and when he jumped down the hole, he was looking backwards at me. And the next day, then I brought my father over to show him, like, thank God, like, it was great, like, that our father always believed us, and that we weren't ridiculed, like, or you're only seeing this or you're only seeing that, like, but he believed us, and he always believed us, when we saw things,
Oh, yeah.
which helped
Well,
a lot.
oh, sure, sure. That's the way I believe. This is my theory with kids that are sensitive to the ethereal, the other side, being able to see things. That kind of gets driven out of us as if we're not nurtured to say, yeah, there's something there. If they, somebody that they respect as they're growing up, like a father, a mother, uncle, whoever, says, "Hey, you're full of shit" or whatever, kind
Yeah,
of drives them out of it, and they start disbelieving, and they lose their sight or whatever
yeah,
connection they've got. So
yeah.
yeah, there you go.
I believe that when I hit puberty, I just stopped seeing any of these like fairy type things. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
I believe that kids are connected more to to that those frequencies or something, and then I don't know, maybe when you just get older, you get more wrapped up with the bullshit in this world,
Oh yeah.
and
Well,
oh,
here
there was
here.
another time I must tell you. I was talking to Lisa Ray the other there last night, and when I was 15, I was over in Arkansas for a month up in Rogers, and I remember the first night I saw a firefly, and I started roaring, run. The people I was staying with, their grandkids, started running towards it, and I was trying to pull them back, and they all had a great laugh at me. So they did about the firefly. I thought it was a will-o'-the-wisp because when I was 9, I seen a will-o'-the-wisp, and that's what they look like over here in Ireland. But I suppose over in the States, they'd have to look different. But because you don't have fireflies or anything that glows or flashes here in Ireland, so they just look like a little LED here. But I was coming out of where that little river goes down through. There was an orchard, and there's
Hmm.
another. There used to be an old house there, and that'd be the oldest story that we know of. I'll let my father fill me in on the full details of that before I tell you that one. That's a really weird one. But
Yeah. How old is your
I was
dad?
coming out there. He's not too bad. No, he's not too bad.
Okay. How old
He's
is
not
he?
too bad. Oh, he's 76.
Oh, so he still gets
So he
around
is.
pretty good, huh?
And not as well as what he used to. In 2018, there he had a stroke, but thank God he wasn't
Oh
left
yeah.
on paralyzed. But it has knocked him back a lot. You know, it has knocked
Yeah.
him back a lot. Like, but as long as there's breath in my body, he won't go into a home. You know, like
Well, that's great. That's great.
you know. But yeah. Coming out with this orchard anyway. I seen this little, like, I was only 9 at the time as well. This little light looked like a little LED, and I started following it, and then I could just hear my granny's voice. Now my granny was alive, but she used to always warn us of the will o' the wisp because she seen one, and I think a cousin of hers went following one time, and then she was found, drowned in a bog hole when they were kids. But so she always warned us about them not to follow them. But so I seen it and I was wondering what it was. And when I was after about 10 steps, I realised, oh, that's a will o' the wisp. And I went to turn around, and then instantly I could see it appear at the side of me like it was flanking me, and then it disappeared, and it appeared about 20 feet in front of me. And then it started moving towards me, and I started getting a real bad feeling. So I just ran and around it, like, and it was like it was trying to herd me back towards the part of the field that it was originally heading towards. So it could have been bringing me towards a portal or anything, but
Hmm.
I just ran past it and it just fizzled out with like a staticky type of pop, you know. And I ran home and I told my father, and he says, "Yeah, no, you shouldn't have been down there, even this late. Like, you should be as soon as you see that the sun is near uh, the horizon. Like, don't even let it go to the horizon. You should leave that place because it's not a good place, that orchard. And the apples in there were beautiful. Like, normally in Ireland, wild apples are all crab apples, like, and they'd give you a pain in the stomach if you had them. But in there, they were just gorgeous. But but yeah, I'll try and get all of the stories in line, like, because like they do go back. Yeah, 150 years to go back, and then my father and all his brothers have all had encounters all down through the years, and they're all in one area. So it has to be some sort of ley line or something.
Yeah, it has to be something there. Yeah,
You know,
some
and
way
then with the
of transferring
UFOs,
energy.
then
Yeah.
the
Hmm.
UFOs going up and down on them the whole time, and then helicopters appear and flying low. Do you know what I mean? Circling where the UFOs were. So there's something weird is happening.
Yep, that's true. Something you stumbled on something. I think you're pretty close to it. Uh,
Mm.
so I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I believe you that it is a UFO, and there may be ley lines around there. What's in the actual makeup of the ground beneath you? Is it an old stone, old hard stone like granite or
Well,
something like that?
well, the field just out from me here, years ago, the farmer who owns it, he dug a big pit, big deep pit, so he did, so he was rolling the field, to help get all the moisture out of it, and then that big hole will end up filling up, He'd keep on driving the tractor around. He'd have a big massive. It'd be like what would be on a steamroller, but it'd be behind the tractor, and then, it'd push all the moisture down towards the lowest end of the field. But in some of the stuff that he dug up, like there was stones that had like ancient sea like fossils all through them. But it's mainly just what we call daub. It's just like muck and then stones and things like that. And but there are places like that change, but mainly over on my grandmother's land, which would be my uncle's land now. Um, it's mainly that daub. It's just like it's like a real uh, it'd be like a mustardy coloured mud and stones, and
Hmm.
it's kind of wet, marshy, like water will seep through it very easily, but there is then places that will have like quartz, and wherever you have quartz, you know, that can cause electricity, like the electric lighters with the spark.
Yeah.
That's just like something the spring hitting off a piece of quartz crystal, and that's what causes that electric yoke to light the lighter. You
Correct.
know,
Correct.
yeah,
Yep.
it's used the piezo or piezo effect. But
Physio. Yeah, that's what we
yeah,
used in for sleep labs. We used these
yeah,
things called strain gauges, and in the middle of what made the strain gauge
yeah.
uh, create the ability for us to see is the chest rising and falling
Oh
based
yeah,
off of
it'd be like a
yeah
little round joke, and the piezo, the little thin slice of the
the
quartz, like
crystal.
would
Yeah.
vibrate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
yeah, yeah,
it stretched and changed the electrical conductivity of
yeah,
the crystal. And it
yeah,
sounds strange, but that's the science behind that, if you believe
yeah,
science at all. But there you go.
yeah. I know, no, yeah, yeah. I started teaching myself electronics there in 2018. So I did, and oh man, I wish somebody showed me it when I was a kid. I absolutely love it, so I do. You
Yeah.
know, but listen, I'm going to get off because my father was ringing me there. And
Okay.
I was meant to bring him down a hot water bottle. It's 2 o'clock. But I'm gonna compile all of the stories all so that they're so that they're not here, there, and everywhere, because they do go back different timelines. So I'll start at the start, and I'll work my way all up, and I'll try and get everyone's stories. And my uncle had seen that big black dog. He's still alive. I want to go and ask him again and get the full details. In case I'm missing any part of the story out as well. But I'll put you on to my father as well. Like he's great at telling stories, and he'll tell you a story about when him and my mother, when she was dying of cancer, were over in Medjugorje, and he seen a demon.
Oh
You
man.
know,
Yep.
and he's not a religious person at all. Like, he believes in the creator and God, but he's not sort of uh he's not religious anyway. You know,
Yep.
he wouldn't be religious, but he believes in God.
Oh, that's
So
all
that's
right.
enough for me anyway. I believe in God and I believe in Jesus, but I don't believe in the Catholic Church. A lot of people in Ireland they're against the Catholic Church because of all the bad things that happen in this country because of them. But I'll leave it there anyway.
Well, Keith, I appreciate you calling in. That's fantastic stories.
Looks like you got a bot to take care of in the chat there.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to. Yeah. Looks like Lakea took care of that. So.
Yeah, and you know what I'll do? I'll take a photo as well from Google Earth, and I'll show you. I'll show you where all the ring forts are, just in our area, like, and that's the same the whole way across the country. That's the same. The ring forts are literally within shouting distance, the whole way across the country.
I'll have to look that up. I did not know that until you mentioned it, so I'll have to look that up. That's interesting.
Yeah. All right. Listen, it was great talking to you, Shawn.
Well, same to you, Keith. Appreciate you. God bless, and we'll talk to you later.
Okay. All right. Bye.
All right. Bye. All right. Wow, that's interesting. And here I just started this live stream just to, waste a little time, and so I don't have to roll around this old house I've got. But holy heck, what in the heck's going on? Looks like the real link's got a lot of audio going on. Let's see what's going on here, or whatever's happened here. Oh, that's probably that was probably something rolling by on the road noise. Have you guys seen any old Willie pop back up? I ain't seen him in about an hour or so. But anyway, I think I'm about done for tonight. Let me go ahead and hit this audio off here. Turn that audio off there. Folks, I appreciate you joining me for the last 3.5 hours. Wow, 3.5 hours. Doesn't seem like it. If you want to, go over to imdarkwaters.com and go over and look, see what Dark Waters is posting that he can't post over here on YouTube. And go to dogmancams.com. We've been looking at one of the Dogman Cams live stream right now, and old One Eyed Willie popped up. And just wanted to take another look at that. But jump on there and see for dogmancams.com, less than a pack of smokes you can get on there per month and see what we're seeing live right now. And if you want to reach out to me, Shawn G at imdarkwaters.com is the place to email me. And the number 931-994-6917 is a number you can reach me at after hours. And it looks like my sister just called me. So I'll have to adjust that here and just take care of that here in a little bit. But anyway, folks, every program that I do, I end it with a prayer. Dear God in heaven, thank you for today. Thank you for this show. Thank you for all the individuals that called in and shared their truth. Please, dear God, bless each and every one of them. Keep them safe from everything evil, satanic, demonic, extraterrestrial, interdimensional, extradimensional, out for the ruin of souls of man. Keep them safe, sound, bless their houses, bless their families. Keep them prosperous. And if they are in need of help, please send your angels to them to help them out in whichever way that you yourself know that they need. Bless this house, bless this show, and keep them safe. And I plead the blood of Jesus Christ on everything I just said. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. Thank you, folks. I appreciate you. Everyone. Without a doubt. I can't do this show without you. Can't do this show without the callers. But holy cow, this has been an interesting show. All I can tell you. I honestly just want to jump on here and design a poster and see if everybody liked it. If that was something that I needed to do in the future, I may do another one, see how that goes. But it's interesting. That's all I can say. God bless each and every one of you, and please be a light in somebody's life. Everybody's got the world coming down on them. They're seeing everything bad in the news and this, that, and the other. So if you can, please be a light in somebody else's life. That's it, folks. God bless. And let's see. Let me get this outro music playing. Where is it? Where's the outro? Right there it is. There's the outro. Turn that up, and here we go. See you probably Wednesday. I'm not going to do anything tomorrow, so don't look for me to do anything. Wednesday night, 8 p.m., come back here where you're at right now, and I'll be here doing a live stream. And we'll talk to you later.